flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Cowboys arrived at training camp today with one notable exception. Receiver CeeDee Lamb did not report. He hasn't gotten the extension he's looking for. He's coming off his best season, so Dallas's only option is to pay him, advises ESPN's Louis Riddick.
You saw this coming down the pike a long time ago. You saw how wide receiver dollars were trending in terms of average per year and guaranteed money. You saw how this was trending on your own roster. You know how important this man is. This is one of the most productive wide receivers in his first 4 years in the NFL in history. And you can't win without him.
Team USA coach Steve Kerr says there will be a big collaboration in determining when forward Kevin Durant debuts at the Paris Olympics. He's been sidelined by a calf injury. Baseball, ESPN reports the Red Sox and manager Alex Cora in talks on an extension. There is momentum toward a deal to end his lame duck status, keeping him in Boston. That deal would be for 3 years, almost $22 million. NBA, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau agreed on a 3-year extension. He has been at the forefront of New York's resurgence.
Here's one stat that's super simple to remember. Discover automatically doubles the cash back on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. With Discover, you could turn $150 cash back to $300. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Hey. Ooh, this has been a minute.
It's hump day.
Last week we're at Media Days.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The week before that, did we have a guest or something?
You're in Lafayette?
Lafayette! Yes! For the birthday bash.
It's hump day.
Week before that?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I think we probably did it.
Maybe I was gone?
Oh, yeah, you were gone.
That's
right. You were gone.
I was gone. Week before that, you were gone.
It's hump day.
You didn't do it when I was gone?
Probably did. I don't remember. I don't remember what I did yesterday, Muse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I don't remember. You and I were talking about in the hallway 5 minutes ago.
Hump day.
Saints open training camp today.
It's hump day.
One of your starters is already hurt.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Ashton Larson, LSU outfielder, here next hour.
Hump day.
We're heading to Irvine in hour 3. Ross Jackson will have our Saints camp reports every day throughout training camp.
It's hump day.
We got Pluggers Trivia.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We got Bourbon Dictionary.
Hump day.
We got Around the SEC.
It's hump day.
We got a lot to do, so let us get going. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We begin today, as we do every single day, except when we do.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Saints open up training camp out in Irvine. Maybe the most newsy part of the day was Kendre Miller, second-year running back Kendre Miller, who missed the bulk of his rookie season with injuries. Injured on the first day. Went into the injury tent with a left hamstring injury, did not return to practice. Dennis Allen, after practice, had this to say about his second-year running back.
Kendre's got a hamstring, so look, that's a player that's going to have to figure out how to stay healthy, because it's hard to make the team, when you're in the training room all the time.
Interesting that he said it's hard to make the team when you're in the training room. Not hard to be an impact guy, not hard to carve a role, hard to make the team. Now, I don't think Kendre Miller, who was a third-round pick a year ago, is in a jeopardy of not making the Saints roster, and quite honestly, I don't know that they have better options at running back, but maybe something could transpire. But Dennis Allen, day one, sounded pretty testy. And that sure feels like a guy who knows he's got a lot on the line personally and professionally here in this season. But Kendre Miller was not there. Alvin Kamara was. And this was obviously a big story all offseason. Kamara left mandatory minicamp early. He's embroiled in somewhat of a contract dispute here with the Saints. We've been through it. Kamara has zero guarantees for 2025. He's got a $25 million deal, but none of it is guaranteed. So he's, in effect, in a contract year, and he wants some stability. Here was Dennis Allen after practice out there on Wednesday about Kamara's first practice back.
Yeah, look, he looked good out here. I liked what I saw. Appreciate the fact that he's out here. He's working with his teammates. He's had a positive attitude, and so that's been good. I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that.
Now, specifically with Alvin Kamara met with reporters after, this is going to be a storyline not only today and through camp, but really throughout the entire season around the Saints, because I don't suspect the Saints are in any hurry to extend Alvin Kamara. There's just no sense in doing it. You have leverage. He has none. He's an aging veteran player. You love him. He's been a great New Orleans Saint. But he's an aging veteran player, and there's no reason to invest long-term into an aging veteran player when you don't have to. But Alvin Kamara was asked, is the holdout minicamp, the desire right now with the whole contract thing? Well, we'll give a listen.
Is it more about money this year or looking ahead?
Looking ahead. And I've said it before, I want to be a Saint. You know what I'm saying? I want to retire here. If I got to play football somewhere else, I'll probably be somewhere with my feet kicked up in Africa somewhere or something like that.
So the question was, is the money for this year or for future years? And you heard Kamara say it. He wants to retire a Saint. But he also, while they didn't get into specific dollar amounts, Kamara did say this.
Just for me to set the record, I'm not asking for nothing. I'm not asking for nothing crazy where it's like, oh my gosh, we can't do that. Well, that's my perception of it. Whatever the perception is upstairs with whoever makes those decisions, it's obviously different than what my perception is. So, we just carry on. I got to just do what I do, and I'll focus on what I got to do.
I don't think it's necessarily, and I will compliment the Saints on this, and it's odd because fiscally they've been a very irresponsible organization with how they've managed their cap. But the one thing about the Saints, almost to a fault sometimes, when you talk about free agent dollars, especially with their players, they have their number and that's it. The best example of this recently was Mark Ingram. Ingram and Kamara were a really good 1-2 punch. And Ingram became a free agent, and the Saints had their number. They weren't going over it. And so Ingram left and signed with the Ravens in free agency. And we later learned the difference, the dollar amount difference, in what the Saints had offered and what ultimately he signed for with the Ravens was $200,000. But by that point, the Saints had moved on. So I guess it is a bit odd that this team that is so irresponsible in so many ways that they handle contracts really dig in their heels on their free agent number. It was the same thing, incidentally, with Marcus Williams, who coincidentally also signed with the Ravens. So I don't doubt Alvin Kamara when he says he's not asking for a crazy amount. I bet he's not asking for a crazy amount. How could you ask for a crazy amount at this point in your career? But if you're the New Orleans Saints, you have all of the leverage. There's no reason to go overspend. I mean, if someone's offering you to sell a bicycle to you for $100 and the thing's worth $20 and ain't nobody else lining up to buy it and you got transportation, like, why would I overpay for that thing? There's no reason to do it. If you overpay Alvin Kamara, it's just an emotional buy for what he was for you in the past, and there's no sense to do that because it's not going to help you in the future. The best case scenario is Kamara goes and has an awesome season this year and earns a better contract, and I'm sure the Saints would give it to him. Maybe another team would as well. But Kamara also was asked about why, after walking out at minicamp, he decided to show up at camp, despite, obviously, this ongoing contract situation.
Yeah, I ain't stupid. I ain't going to get the money up. I'm trying to get some money, right? So I was going to be here. I mean, it's no one that has a jersey on. It's nobody, not even, I wouldn't even blame any coaches what's going on with contract issues right now, right? Like, I mean, this happens all across the league. It's happened here. It's happened everywhere, right? You know, people trying to get contracts, trying to get paid. And I'll be a fool to spite my teammates because of a dispute I'm having with upstairs, or I wouldn't even call it a dispute. We're just having conversations about compensation. So, man, I was gonna be here. I mean, Derek saw me and he was surprised. But you know, it's not like I was telling everybody like I'm gonna be here. But man, I'm not that guy. Like I'm for the team, so I'm here. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm working.
He could have stopped with, "I'm not giving that money." Remember, if you no-show training camp, it's a $50,000 fine every day, and there are examples of guys who take on those fines, and it works out. Chris Jones of the Chiefs is a great example of that a year ago. Chris Jones held out. He paid the $50,000 fines every day, ended up costing, I believe, in the neighborhood of $2 million worth of fines, but he ended up signing a record-breaking deal. It was worth it. He gave up $2 million in fines to sign the record-breaking deal because he had leverage, and ultimately it was a game of chicken. Who's going to blink first? Well, remember, he sat out a game. Remember that? Chris Jones was watching like the opener up in the owner's box. And ultimately, the time came, they're like, all right, we'll pay you. I mean, Emmitt Smith did the same thing back in the day with the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, some guys will give up that money if it means a longer-term payoff at the end. I don't think Kamara has that leverage at this point. One more from Kamara. And the contract talk is going to be a part of this. And I know not everybody loves contract talks, and I get it. You want to know about your team and all the business stuff, you leave it to the suits. It's more about what's this team going to look like. But it's the Kamara piece of this is just an unavoidable part at the start of camp because it was a big question of whether or not he would be there. There's still the lingering contract issue, and he's a beloved player. I mean, he's arguably the most dynamic athlete the Saints have ever had on offense. I mean, he leads the organization all time in touchdowns. He's going to be a Saints Hall of Famer. He's been awesome, man. We all love Alvin Kamara, and we want to see him finish his career as a Saint, but it's got to make sense as well. But we all think Kamara improving, being healthy and improving in this offense is a key to this offense getting better in 2024. And Kamara said, like, even just in this offseason, he's already noticed a difference from a year ago.
There's a different kind of accountability, I think. And I think, like, when we've been good around here, it was just unspoken. Like, it was certain that you just don't do, and it was certain that you do. And when you keep that right there how it is, then good happens. When that flips and, you know, you kind of let a couple things here slide and a couple things there slide, then you get the result you got the past 2 years.
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I mean, it's a very, very candid look from Alvin Kamara, the peek behind the curtain. But that's what happens when you don't have the accountability that Sean Payton put in place. And in my opinion, that is the key glaring difference between what you were with Sean Payton and what you are with Dennis Allen. We'll see if Dennis Allen can turn that around. Maybe it takes player-led leadership. Kamara just talked about it there. A lot of that, we'll see how it factors in. But the Saints just pushing off from the dock. Day one of Saints training camp. Of course, we'll have a ton of it covered for you here. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Hey, man, all fall, whenever you're going to be kicking back, watching the Saints, Bud Light is the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Man, there's always something going on with our friends over at Mockler. Great community partners. So if it's the official beer of the Saints, the official beer of the Tigers, the official beer of AFR, rarely can you go to a charity event without seeing plenty of Bud products around. Rarely would you ever go to a camp or a fair, I should say, or any type of like event like that, a golf tournament. I mean, last year, our friends over at Mockler sponsored like 80 some odd golf tournaments. It's crazy. I mean, it's more than one a week they were out there. So great community partners as well. So drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, y'all, quick break. We will get, by the way, Dennis Allen spoke at great length about the Ryan Ramczyk situation. Now, I think many of us are just resigned to the fact that he's probably done. But Dennis Allen talked a lot about how they went through the process of making the decision about Ramczyk and what the future looks like there. We'll get that at the start of Hour 2. And then at the start of Hour 3, I'm really pumped about this. Our buddy Ross Jackson from Locked On Saints. Ross is out there in Irvine. He's going to join us every single day the Saints are in Irvine for a Saints training camp report. We'll do that right at the top of hour number 3 today. So each day we'll have a boots on the ground training camp report with Ross Jackson. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, quick break. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. When we come back, the LSU baseball roster nearing a completion, and one of the way too early top 25s came out today. You might be interested in what Baseball America has to say about Jay Johnson's 2025 squad. We'll get to that next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 amazing hotel properties in Baton Rouge. Hey, remember, the Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. If you're interested in hosting an event, if it's a board meeting for a dozen people or some type of fundraiser up to 500 people, maybe it's a awards banquet, anything like that. The Greek socials, the Renaissance can host up to 500 people. Love telling you about the Renaissance Hotel. And hey, remember also, this week is Restaurant Week in Baton Rouge. Restaurant Week is such a great celebration every year. And Tallulah over at the Renaissance Hotel is participating in Restaurant Week. And so it's July 22nd through the 27th, so running through Saturday. And it's at Restaurant Week, it's $45 a person over at Tallulah. So if you've been trying to get by Tallulah, been hearing me talk about Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel, been interested in trying it, great opportunity right now with Restaurant Week, just $45 a person for dinner at Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
College baseball season wrapped up just about a month ago with Tennessee winning the program's very first national title. Short time after that, Jay Johnson did his wrap, right? His season postmortem wrap press conference, all that sort of stuff. And he kind of gave an overview. Again, this is a month ago, mind you, of where he kind of felt the baseline was being set for the roster for 2025.
I think, looking at the players that have committed to return for 2025, you're starting with some really good pieces and some great character. And I think that's something that, I'm comfortable with as a foundation is the people that we have and their commitment moving forward.
And remember, that was before we knew Bear Jones was coming back. That was before we knew Michael Braswell was coming back. That was before we knew William Schmidt was going to show up on campus. Jay was pretty comfortable with what they had coming back. But you know what a lot of you said? Should I go do the Twitter Old Takes Exposed thing?
I mean, it's always a good exercise, a good test case. Yeah.
So could I do that? What's wrong with the culture at LSU? Why are 14 players leaving the program? They don't like Jay Johnson. Why can't he get guys to stay? Such an embarrassing season. Jay's losing his touch. Jay's losing his grip. LSU's getting crushed in NIL. Why are they only getting small school guys? Remember that one?
That was my favorite one.
Why are they only getting small school guys? And I seem to remember, and you tell me if I'm wrong on this. I seem to remember some bearded, bald, 42-year-old kind of chubby guy that yells a lot on the radio, looks a little bit like me. I kind of remember somebody saying, hey, look, this is baseball. There are measurables in baseball. You can measure velo. You can measure spin rate. You can measure horizontal break. You can measure bat speed. You can measure power, distance of a home run, exit velo. I don't care who you do it against. 100 from the right side, if you're Devin Sheeran, is still 100 from the right side, whether it's on the bump at Mount St. Mary's or at Alec Box Stadium. You remember that?
I seem to recall that, yes.
Yeah? Did you ever talk about stuff like that on Muso at the Box?
Quite often, yes.
Did you really?
Yes.
Pretty common theme there. Why can't Jay Johnson get any recruit? It's a guy from Wofford! Nichols guy, that's the best you can do! Utah Valley! Never mind the fact that he's a projected first-round pick next year, Danny Dickens.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
But you know what happens when that happens, Muse, right? You know what happens?
What happens?
Well, they say, Scone, you're just a homer.
Yep.
Imagine people calling me a homer. Muse.
They do.
It's so stupid. Ooh. I was at Media Days last week, and I got called a hater all week there.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. I'm called a homer. I don't know. I'm a man without a home, Muse. I don't know where to go.
You're homeless.
I'm just right there. Or you know what I am? Maybe I'm right smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good place to be.
That is.
I don't know. So sometimes it's good to then call upon an impartial third party, right? That would be validating to one side or the other. Wouldn't you say? Find someone who's not emotionally affixed to either side of this conversation and say, what do you think? As long as it's a reputable entity, yeah?
Absolutely. Another good test case there, yes.
Baseball America's pretty reputable, I think, aren't they?
I would agree with that. Been around quite a while.
Have they? They've been around a while?
Baseball America, yeah. Cover the sport better than anybody. Any level you want,
Google,
really.
When was Baseball America founded? I'm curious how long It would look. It feels like they've been around a long time. Sure feel like I've been saying Baseball America for a long time and looking at magazine.
1981.
81.
1981.
Older than me by a year, Muse.
Yeah.
How about that? I was born in 82. Older than me by a year. Well, Baseball America today put out a way too early top 25 for the college baseball 2025 season. That's hard to believe. Quarter century.
How about that?
Y2K was a quarter century ago. Huh.
Top 25 in 2025. That's a lot of 25s.
Yeah, a lot of 25s. That was a little tangent there.
Yep.
I should probably get to the point, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of SEC flair. How about Kentucky at 23?
They deserve it.
Remember Texas? In the SEC now.
Yeah.
Number 19. Vandy, number 18. Ooh, that's a little low, right?
Man.
Boy, Corbin's not into the whole portal thing.
No, he's not.
Portal NIL. It's like, man, we had an advantage forever where we could just give everybody a full scholarship because of academics. We don't have an advantage anymore. Gosh, dog it.
Yep. It's noticeable, too.
Pulmonary, South Carolina, 17. How about that?
P-Money?
How about that, P-Money? It's going to be good seeing some P-Money specials back in the league
Oh,
this year. How about
love
that?
me a hit and run.
Mississippi State at 16. Georgia 11. They were a national seed.
Wes Johnson, how about that, man?
Well, you lost a pretty good player.
You did.
Got what, two over, three over?
Three, somewhere in there. Yeah, 2.
Arkansas at 8. The defending champs, Tennessee, 7.
Oh, okay.
Texas A&M and new coach Michael Early at 5.
Lot returning in College Station.
Florida, numero dos.
Sully's had a great offseason,
Number
man.
2 in the country. You notice I just went through a whole lot of SEC teams. I didn't mention somebody.
Was that like 8?
Yeah, well, let's see. Kentucky, Texas, Vandy, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Georgia, Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas A&M,
10.
Florida. That's
I'm sorry,
10.
10. You're missing 1.
But I'm all the way up to 2, though, Muse. Reverse order from 25 to 2.
Yeah.
What could I possibly have missed, Muse?
The home team?
Oh, Baseball America has LSU number 1 in the freaking country for next year, and it's way too early top 25. You doofuses. I'll tell you all this again. I'm going to tell you again. You can doubt Jay Johnson. Go on and do it. Oh, Jay Johnson, he lost the culture. He lost the team. Nobody wants to play here. They're all transferring. Cam Johnson went to Oklahoma. Why did they all leave? Nobody wants to be here. They only get small school guys. They don't have any NIL. Blah, 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 blah. My headphones just fell off. Our headphones are falling off. That got you, didn't it?
That was a good one. That was very well done all around. Yeah.
I'll get it in the break.
Yeah, it's not important.
I'm going to say it again. You can doubt Jay Johnson if you want to. But that, my friends, is a fool's errand. That man is the best coach in college baseball. He is the best recruiter in college baseball. And he is a relentless force. That man went and crisscrossed this entire country from Utah Valley to Mount St. Mary's to find dudes that weren't just popping up at all the showcases that are super easy where all the coaches go to. That dude got on a plane every damn day and flew his behind. Not sending an assistant, not just showing up at a regional scouting combine. He got on a plane, flew every day, crisscrossing the country, finding the best players and put together this roster, which right now has LSU, according to Baseball America, preseason number 1 in America. Now, that don't mean you're going to win the last game and hoist the trophy, but it's a hell of a good start. You got Blaze Priester catching. You got Bear Jones and his 28 bombs back at first. Stephen Milam, who is freshman All-America, back at second. You have a senior shortstop in Michael Braswell. You're going to have a battle over at third base, but that's probably Danny Dickinson, who's projected to be a first-round pick next year. Ashton Larson will probably be in right. Jake Brown will be in center. Maybe Josh Pearson in left. Maybe, I don't know, one of the top 10 players in the country, and Derek Curriel wins that job. Maybe it's Chris Stanfield, the Auburn transfer. All I'm here to tell you You got a lot of options. Oh, Chase Shores, who throws 100, is coming off an injury. Cade Anderson will be a year older there. You went and added Sheeran, who throws 100. Cohen, who's a Friday night guy at Wofford. Myers, who's a strikeout king, if you could ever just throw the ball over the plate, not walk guys. Ianson, who's a legit Team USA guy. I mean, you have so much. Chandler Dorsey, who's South Florida, just because you ain't never heard of them doesn't mean they can't play. No. And I'm going to say this again. Be it this year, next year, or forever. As long as Jay Johnson is LSU's coach, you better believe LSU will have a talented enough roster to be in the conversation, not just to be in Omaha, but to win the last game every year as long as that man is the coach. Baseball America has LSU preseason, way too early, number 1 in the country. After losing 14 guys to the portal and your All-American third baseman and your top 2 starters and a partridge in a pear tree. Muse, you got any worries about the kid from Mount St. Mary's that throws 100?
No.
No, not really.
No, I think Devin Sheeran's gonna be pretty darn good.
Yeah, you think he'll be pretty good?
I think he's got a shot to succeed in this game for a while.
Good. Good. I like that. Yeah. You disagree with Baseball America at all, Muse?
No.
Okay.
I think they nailed it.
Good. You're just a big homer, though, Muse.
That's me.
All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Need to buy tires? Buy the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. That's Shaw Bills, Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Be sure to hit the promotions tab at the top of the page, and you'll see all the deals that they have going on over at Shaw Bills. Again, if it's Michelin, Firestone, Bridgestone, BF Goodrich, the best tires on the road at name brand tires at wholesale prices. Cheaper than the membership clubs, cheaper than the box stores, cheaper than other tire stores. And they guarantee it. Buy tires at Shaw Bills, find them advertised somewhere cheaper. They'll refund you 125% of the difference. And remember, the best part about Shaw Bills is they treat you like family. So you'll keep coming back year after year after year because they always treat you great. It's at Shaw Bills, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. Bourbon Dictionary with Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes from right now. Day 1 of Saints training camp. We opened the show talking a little bit about Alvin Kamara's situation. We heard from Kamara and Dennis Allen. DA also discussed Ryan Ramczyk. We're going to get to that in 30 minutes from right now. And Ashton Larson spending this summer up in the Cape, tearing it up, hitting 305 for the, what's that team called again? The
Chatham Anglers.
The Anglers. Would that be Fishermen Anglers?
Yes.
Anglers?
Yes, their logo is like a hook.
Anglers. Hitting 305. Talk to Ashton Larson here. No, exactly 45 minutes from right now. Okay, it's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Duplessis home that has a pool, but it's dated. It needs to be remodeled or upgraded. You need Duplessis Builders. Design and build your backyard paradise. Quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. It's on their website. I love that quote. It's a quote from Gucci. Quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. Y'all, if you're just going and calling different pool companies to see who's going to give you the cheapest price, that's not going to be Duplessis Builders. By now you should know that on this show, especially when it comes to contractors, I endorse the best. It's quality that will always last. That's Derek Duplessis and Duplessis Builders. They don't cut corners. They will pass on a job before they build subpar work and put their name on it. You want the best? You want...
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy.
Our folks have years and years of experience. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Comedian, producer, and actor Joe Gatto is hitting the road on his Let's Get Into It tour, and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is giving you a chance to see him live Friday, November 15th at the Raising Cane's River Center. Register to win tickets today at 1045ESPN.com.
This is a pretty encouraging story. You might be familiar with what happened with Auburn running back Brian Batty. He was involved in a shooting some months ago. His family had started a GoFundMe, and Batty suffered a brain injury and has been recovering ever since. He's at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, and his family has praised the care that he's receiving from doctors there. And the family said that they set a goal of him to start walking again by his birthday, and apparently did that actually with a few days to spare. This week, for the first time since the May shooting, Brian Batty walked with a cane as he continues to recover from that shooting back in May. So continued prayers there as we get updates on that story. We'll continue to follow it, but a terrible situation that could have been tragic. Was tragic. There were deaths involved. But for Brian, his life was spared, and he continues on his road to recovery. So certainly lots of prayers and well wishes and good vibes and all that stuff sent toward Brian Batty and all the Auburn community. So some really good news there. All right, it's after further review. I'm glad to have you aboard with us here. The Big Ten Media Days is going on right now. Matt Rule made some waves today, and I was interested in this just because you know that if you followed our coverage of SEC Media Days last week, one of the things that I asked basically everybody last week was how many teams they thought the SEC would get into a 12-team college football playoff. And pretty consistently, everybody said 4 or 5, and my feeling has been you're going to lock in 3 every year, and the one-off will be when you get to 4. it's almost impossible to imagine a scenario where a league gets to 5. And yesterday, if you were here, we went through the last 7-8 seasons and looked at the penultimate rankings and the top 11, because remember this G5 auto bid. So you'll have in the top 11 how many SEC teams would have been in. And every year there was 3, and in a few of those years there was 4, but there was never a year where there was 5. So I think what's one of the things that's going to transpire here, and all that to say, so Matt Rule, when he was at Media Days, the thing he said that's got a lot of people's attention is he said that the Big Ten, I want to read the exact quote for you here. He said, I think we'll have a lot of access. Let me just read it for you. I think we'll have a lot of access to the college football playoff. I think 4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football in my mind. It stretches from coast to coast, different time zones, different weather. I don't need to have the conversation about which is the best league. I mean, there's nothing subjective about that. I mean, we have objective data that tells us the SEC is a better league. It's won more national championships. It's had more first-round picks. The SEC's had more first-round picks than any other league for 20 years now. So it's not even a debatable thing, more players in the NFL. So, I mean, the SEC has clearly been the most successful and most productive conference in producing players for the next level. So, Matt Rule is entitled to his opinion. He's the coach at Nebraska, and obviously he's going to say the Big Ten is the best league. I don't blame him for saying that. I'm less interested in his opinion about the Big Ten and more interested in his feeling that the Big Ten is going to get 4 every year. Now, just do the math. If the SEC gets 4 and the Big Ten gets 4, that's 8. You have a G5, which gets an auto bid, that's 9. And then you have the ACC, the Big 12, and, well, I guess it would be SEC Big Ten. So SEC Big 10, ACC Big 12, G5, that's 5 auto bids, 7 at large. So essentially what you're saying is 3 of those at large are SEC, 3 of those are Big 10. So 8 of the 12 are going to be SEC Big 10. I just find it hard to believe that's the way it's going to play out. Remember, there's going to be years Notre Dame is in the mix there for an at-large spot. It might be this year. That takes away another bid from one of those leagues. I'm just telling you, it's the feeling from SEC and Big Ten people that they're going to get 4 in every year. And I just don't see that for the same reason of what we saw last year when Georgia lost in the SEC championship game. It opened the door for the committee to take an SEC team out of that playoff and make more parity among different leagues. And the more it plays out, I just feel like that's what we're going to see. Maybe I'll be wrong. We'll see in time. But I think 3 is going to be the standard. And as we grow this sample size of a 12-team playoff for however long it is, we're going to see 3 from the SEC every year. But I think the exception will be when you get to 4. And I don't know that you ever get to 5. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do indoor shutters as well. You want to beautify the interior of your home? Relief Windows can help you do it. The exterior as well. You want to make your home more energy efficient. Remember, these energy efficient windows over time end up paying for themselves because it's going to lower your energy bill, increase your home's resale value. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Check them out online. Remember, at Relief Windows, they've got that 3D technology where when you go in, you talk to one of their associates, they can show you on a 3D model exactly what that siding would look like on your home, exactly what those windows, that door would look like on your home. Instead of just looking at a panel or a sample or something like that, you can see an actual 3D model build out of the whole property with that home, siding, doors, windows. It's all there for you at Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia defensive lineman Jordan Hall is going to miss the start of camp with a leg fracture. Dogs HQ had the news. Aiming, though, to be ready for the start of the season in 2024, but is likely to miss several weeks here with this injury. Georgia opens up against Clemson on August 31st at 11 a.m. Central game, kickoff on ABC.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
2025 cornerback Nigel Pringle has committed to Arkansas. He's out of the Houston area. 6'2", 178-pounder, is a big cornerback. Picked the Hogs over Kansas, Arizona State, Oregon, and others. He's a 3-star, the number 93 athlete in the country, the 166th best prospect in Texas.
the Florida Gators.
Gator basketball added a local JUCO standout as a walk-on. It's a guard, Kevin Pazmino. He's been added to the roster for next season. He's out of Santa Fe College there in Gainesville, already participating in summer workouts with the Gators. 6'4" guard out of Florida, started all 29 games, averaging 10 points and 2 rebounds per.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Tony V has been named the 2024 National Coach of the Year by D1 Baseball. Third National Coach of the Year honor for Vitello that he's received this offseason after leading the Vols to their first ever college baseball national championship. First National Coach of the Year honors from D1 Baseball for Vitello. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. We'll get that weekend started off right with some Pluckers tonight. Of course, it's trivia at Pluckers every single Wednesday at both Nicholson and Bluebonnet. All right, Taylor Calandro, a little Bourbon Dictionary. When we come back, get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Bourbon Dictionary is next.
AFR.
Rain, rain, go away. Raining again today and every day for the rest of this month. Well, if the rain has you inside, at least it's good for your flowers and your plants, trees, shrubs. Of course, Clegg's can help you with all of that. Tell you about Clegg's Nursery every single day. For more than 60 years, Clegg's has been helping all the Baton Rouge and greater Baton Rouge area homeowners beautify your outdoor spaces with great tips for that garden, for the flower beds, the patio pots, and of course, if you got unwanted pests as well. Maybe all this rain is bringing mosquitoes. Remember, they got the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. Would highly recommend you go pick that up. You want to be done with mosquitoes at your house 90 days at a time. You can do it for like $25 with an Aeon Mosquito Barrier from over at Clegg's Nursery. So get by any of the 4 locations. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. You know where they are. They've been serving Baton Rouge for more than 60 years. Buy local, shop local. Tell them that sets you in to Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Get your booze questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Taylor joins us. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. Just trying to stay dry. How are you?
That's pretty much life for everybody right now, but it's great if you own a roofing company.
Absolutely.
I joke only slightly. I mean, it's obviously we want everybody to be safe out there. But yeah, when it rains,
it's true, though.
When it rains, our phones ring. There's no doubt. All right, if you got booze questions, get them in for Taylor. Email us, tweet us, text us. You can ask anything about anything. What's new right now?
Are you a fan of celebrity endorsed alcohol?
If it's good juice, sure.
All right. Well, this isn't, but it's celebrity endorsed alcohol.
Okay. All right, what we got? Traveler? I've been seeing that everywhere.
Michael Bublé has a new whiskey out.
Oh, no.
I think it came out in like December. But I tried it the other day. It's not very good. But there could be some Michael Bublé fans out there, and it's kind of inexpensive.
Wait,
so
is
it's like
this
$25.
Fraser?
It's a blend of Canadian and Kentucky.
Fraser?
bourbon.
Is it Fraser and Thompson?
Fraser and Thompson, yeah.
All right, I just pulled it up on Twitter, and there's a Michael Bublé tweet. It's a video with this bottle here. All right, so wait, give us the specs here on it.
So it's a blend of Canadian. I think it's majority Canadian from what I remember reading, and a little bit of Kentucky, undisclosed distilleries. It was just not very good. However, I'm not doing a good job selling this either.
It's honest, man. I'd rather you be like you do a better job of selling spirits when you're honest when something's not good. Because people take your recommendation.
There could be Michael Bublé fans out there. Anyhow, it's only $25, so check it out. It's fine. I'm a snob. It's just not for me. Super light, low proof, just not for me.
Well, Canadian whiskey tends to be light and low proof.
Yeah.
To begin with, but and
generally,
I'm with you on that. But for $25, the other point is you can find great whiskey for $25. We talk about Elijah Craig Small Batch all the time. It's $25 whiskey. It's just a great whiskey for $25.
That's sneaking up though. That's the problem.
Is it really? What's it getting up to now?
I mean, it's mid-30s now, but everything's sneaking up.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We'll get to questions. Anything else, by the way? Anything new? Anything interesting?
We've had some new beers come through in the past couple weeks. A couple of new beers from Spindle Tap in Houston. Haymaker is a triple IPA, which is that all their IPAs are really good. And I can't remember the name of the other one, but we've had a few new beers come through.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to your questions. Email us, tweet us, text us. Lots of ways you can get in. Scott Harms said, "Ask Taylor, what do you think of Mangus Cigar Blend?"
Mangus?
Is that Joseph Mangus?
Oh, Magnus. Oh, God, Magnus. I haven't tried that one specifically, so I'm.
Is it Magnus? Have I been saying that wrong forever? He spelled it Mangus.
That's not right. It's Magnus. I'm pretty sure.
All right, Mangus. All right.
Magnus. I thought.
Magnus. Sorry, I have a bottle, the little short bottle.
Yeah, it's like old school. I don't even know if you know what this looks like. Old school squat looking Weller bottle, kind of square, not square.
Yeah,
but
I've seen them.
Yeah.
The WL Weller bottle says WL Weller on it. Yeah.
Yeah, old school. Yeah, kind of looks like that.
What do you think?
But all their bottles look like that. And we've had one of them before, and I can't remember which one. And then we got a couple bottles I can't remember which one it was, though. That's not a brand that we ever get. I wish we got more, but we don't ever get it.
All right. Greg Lehman asked Taylor, what's your favorite cocktail bar in America?
My favorite cocktail bar in America is Oliver Twist, because Josh is one of my best friends on earth. So.
All right. Outside, hat tip for sure. By the way, Oliver Twist is a phenomenal place. Like, no lie. It's an amazing selection, and they make great craft cocktails and got all the craft beer as well. It really is a great place. Outside of your relationship with Josh and Oliver Twist, what would you say? Where have you been that's cool?
In America, I can't remember the name of the place. It was a really cool cocktail bar on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. I know it's going to sound crazy.
No, I don't think that's crazy at all.
I cannot remember the name of that place. That was one of my favorite places to drink. The cocktails were crazy good, too. Me and my wife went there a few years ago. But it's on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. That was one of my favorite. That's a cocktail bar. I wish I remember the name of it, but that was a very memorable one to me, and it's actually fairly close to people around here.
There's a place on the Riverwalk in San Antonio called Boudreaux's. No X, like Boudr.
Maybe that's what it was. Is it really dark in there?
It is, and you can actually sit out on the Riverwalk as well, and the food's amazing. They'll come, make guacamole tableside where they carve the avocado. They got prickly pear martinis, which I know Erica had, which is great.
This place was a straight cocktail bar. It was fantastic.
No,
I sat next to a pilot. That was like a 30-year Navy pilot. I talked to him for 3 hours.
I'm sure he was thrilled. All right, I got 5 seconds. Got to go. Taylor Calandro, thanks, dude. All right, we'll see you. Hour 2 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Y'all, summer's here. Had a buddy literally yesterday text me and say, hey, are you close with the phone? He said, are you really close with the people over at South Point Volkswagen? Because looking to buy a pre-owned vehicle, just wondering if I should go over there. So I said, well, actually, yes. I sent him Kerry Manuel's cell phone number. Kerry is the certified pre-owned manager over at South Point Volkswagen. I tell you this all the time. If you're looking at buying a pre-owned vehicle, remember, at South Point, because they sell more Volkswagens than anyone, because they sell more new inventory, they get people's trade-ins. So they have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, not just Volkswagens, all makes and models. Go to the website, hit the used tab right there at the top, and you'll see the full inventory of pre-owned vehicles at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A pair of 49ers players did not take part in the first practice of training camp today. Star left tackle Trent Williams is holding out over contract-related issues. Receiver Brandon Ayuk was at camp but not in uniform, did not practice. He wants a new deal and asked for a trade last week. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, a limited participant for the first practice as his contract talks continue. He admitted in the spring to growing impatient regarding negotiations. Tua is not in a position of strength here, points out unsportsmanlike co-host Chris Canty.
What's your alternative if you're Tua? You have no alternative. The issue that you've had is being able to stay on the field. You only have one season when you've been able to do that, and you're going into your 5th year in the National Football League.
Our Chris Canty. Baseball, ESPN's reporting the Red Sox and manager Alex Cora are in talks on an extension. There is momentum to end his lame duck status and keep him in Boston at 3 years, nearly $22 million. NBA Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, at the forefront of the franchise's resurgence, has agreed to a 3-year extension, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Thursday, the NFL season hasn't even started, but it's never too early to tell you which team's season is already over. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tombley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Kiwi Huggins over there, taking the reins from Paul O'Neill. Look at that. The intern pushing buttons. Look out, Paulie. You might lose your job right there. Pretty soon, you're going to be the one yelling, "You're a loser, Matt." Not really. Paul can never leave. It's a rule. Ashton Larson, LSU outfielder. 15 minutes from right now. He's tearing it up in Cape Cod this summer. So looking forward to check in with Ashton Larson here in about 15 minutes. Ross Jackson's out in Irvine with the Saints. He'll be here in 1 hour. Really excited. Ross has agreed to join us every day that the Saints are out in Irvine to give us a Saints training camp report. So we'll do that every day from now until August 16th, as long as the Saints are out there in Irvine in training camp. With the Saints opening up training camp, they were notably without Ryan Ramczyk. And it was obviously something that Dennis Allen was going to be asked about a lot when he met with reporters opening up camp.
But what about, but still working towards maybe playing again?
Yeah, I think we're going to leave all options open, I mean, I don't think anything past this season is off the table.
Don't think anything past this season is off the table, but what we know is that this season for Ryan Ramczyk officially is off the table, with him being on the reserve PUP as a vested veteran before training camp. He's done for the year. So the Saints clearly are moving on. This is the first time, though, that Dennis Allen has spoken at length. He's been asked about Ramczyk before, but really it was through this offseason where the question was kind of like, how he was progressing in this offseason, and maybe he wasn't progressing as well as they liked, but ultimately they made the decision to just shelf him for the season. And look, there's a lot of people who believe, and I'm actually one of them, that the only reason Ramczyk hasn't retired yet at this point is it's just a cap issue at this point. He's going to do what's best from a cap perspective when he retires, when he continues playing, all that. But Allen did give us a little more color and detail on the situation today, like when they knew for certain that Ramczyk was going to be out.
I would say probably sometime through the course of middle of the off season, I think we began to realize that it's not responding the way that we wanted it to, and yet there was nobody that was willing to kind of make any concrete statements as to whether or not he was going to be ready to play or not. I think we just wanted to give it time to see what happened, and so it was probably a week or two ago that I think we realized it's just not going to be ready to go.
I don't think there's any reason for DA to lie there. Like, coaches notoriously lie, and that's okay. Like, I get that coaches lie, and I'm okay with that. Like, a lot of coaches lie to the media because they don't want to give away any sort of advantage. Now, in season, obviously, you have injury reports, and you have to be forthcoming on the injury report. Like, that's mandated by the NFL. But in the offseason, you can say what you want. But at this point, with Ramczyk on the shelf, there's no reason for him to be untruthful. So I believe him when they said they were playing it out, and then they really made the decision here just within the last week or two. Now, obviously, you lose Ryan Ramczyk for the season. It was a limited Ryan Ramczyk, but this is massive. And DA talked about sort of the consequence of losing such a great player.
I would say whenever you lose a player of the caliber of Ryan Ramczyk, that is a little bit of an unsettling feeling. And so that hurts, not having a player of his caliber. I do think that we have some guys that I think are capable of stepping in and filling in that position, and some young guys that I think can step up and potentially fill that spot. So I'm excited about some of the youth that we have on the offensive line.
I'm going to talk more about that youth here in just a second, because after practice on Wednesday, day one, DA did talk about some of the young offensive linemen, how they did day one and what the expectations are. So I'm going to get to that in just a second, but one more on Ramczyk, because this is something that, just as we talk about with Alvin Kamara, his contract situation is going to play out. We're going to continue to discuss. So, too, are we going to discuss Ryan Ramczyk, because while we all assume, I think we all do, I mean, maybe you disagree, but I think we all assume that his career is going to be over. It's not for certain over. And so the question, it was a good question. I think it was this Cat that asked, Cat Terrell asked this. It was a really good question. Is the issue with Ramczyk structural, or is it pain tolerance? Meaning, like, could he play through it, but it wouldn't be any worse? Or is there like a structural issue that just severely limits his ability to play the position?
Well, you're probably asking the wrong person, because I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know that. I know that we felt like there was a couple of ways that we could have gone about this. One was a little bit more cautiously optimistic, which would give us what we felt like still was a good chance. One was a lot more either yes or no, meaning, you do the procedure. If it responds right, then he'll be good. You don't, he probably is done. So I think the course of action that we took was a little bit more, cautiously optimistic, thinking that might be able to, put us over the hump.
For whatever it's worth, there was a follow-up asking if Ramczyk was going to have a future procedure, and Dennis Allen said that's not off the table. Like, there are many options that are still on the table right now, so it's really a wait and see. But what we know is that Ryan Ramczyk will have at least a full calendar year until this point next year to determine if he's going to try to play again. So the Saints move on now in training camp, knowing they're not going to have Ryan Ramczyk, so they have to lean on that young talent that DA alluded to. And we know the names by now, of course. It's Penning and Fuanga. Those are your young, talented offensive linemen. You've used a first-round pick on either of them, and you're expecting those guys to be your bookend starters at tackle this year. Now, we don't know anything about Fuanga yet because he hadn't taken a snap. Unfortunately, we all kind of have a sour taste about Penning because while he was a first-round pick, he missed the bulk of his rookie season due to injury, and then when they tried to make him a left tackle last year, they crashed and burned. And Dennis Allen knows what the expectation is for Trevor Penning this year. Is very open about that after the first practice.
He's going into year 3, so this is kind of the year that he needs to really step up and make some progress. And I saw some of that, in the spring, and hopefully he'll be able to continue that throughout training camp and into this fall. And I think as much as anything for him, it's developing that confidence in himself that he belongs here and that he can do the things that are necessary, to play at this level. And I believe he can, and I'm going to give him an opportunity to see what he can do.
I don't think you have a choice. I believe him when he says he believes he can. He's in the building every day, sees him. And we know Trevor Penning has physical ability. It's why you took him in the first round. Can that manifest? If you want the glass half full component of this conversation, it's the convo we had several months ago with John Stinchcomb. Remember, John Stinchcomb was a high second-round pick of the New Orleans Saints. He battled injuries and inconsistency and didn't really emerge until his third year in the NFL. And then, boom, became your franchise right tackle, was a starter on the Super Bowl team. So it can happen. It just happens more slowly for some guys, even guys that are highly drafted. That's the glass half full perspective here with Penning, and maybe he's going to be better on the right side than he would have been on the left side. Maybe he can't play tackle and you find a home for him at guard. We'll see if eventually you get there. But you don't really have an option right now because, quite honestly, you don't have options. I mean, it's just a very literal thing. Ryan Ramczyk's out. Cameron Irving is the guy you brought in last year. He's a free agent currently. James Hurst is retired. Andrus Peat is now a Las Vegas Raider. I mean, all the guys that were options for you a year ago aren't there anymore. So it's like you have to have these guys play well and be starters for you. And you don't really need to hear me say it. Like Mickey Loomis, when he met with reporters before camp opened on Tuesday, said as much, that they're not still searching in free agency for other offensive linemen.
I would say this, though. I do feel pretty comfortable with, the guys that you would say today are the backups. I think we've got some veterans that have played a lot of football in our league, and we've got some guys that we've had here that have progressed and we feel good about. So I'm less concerned about, obviously, if somebody comes available that we don't expect it can improve us, we're gonna do that. But it's not like a target at this point.
Veteran offensive line is not a target at this point. Look, one of the guys we've talked about a lot throughout this offseason is David Bakhtiari, who the last time we saw him healthy was an All-Pro. Had injuries at the end of his time there in Green Bay and he's a free agent now, waiting to see if he can make some type of comeback as he approaches 33 years old. DJ Humphries is out there, Charles Leno, Dwayne Brown, who's 38, Donovan Smith, who's spent a lot of time in the NFL, has been a starting offensive tackle, left tackle there in Kansas City, protecting Patrick Mahomes. Cam Fleming, Prince Tega Wanoga from Auburn, you might remember him. Billy Turner, there's Cameron Irving, who of course spent last season with the Saints. I mean, it's not a very, Ethan Greenidge is still out there. It's not a very distinguished list, other than at the top where you talk about a guy like David Bakhtiari, who was an All-Pro before his injuries. So maybe you are better off with what you have. But I think Mickey's right as well in that component. I mean, you're looking at the waiver wire to see who might become available because a year ago, Cameron Irving ended up starting for you when you had injuries along that offensive line, and he's still available and could be a guy that you choose to bring back. So we know what the questions are for the Saints going into this camp. And if it's who's the number 2 quarterback, it's age on defense, establishing receivers after your top 2 guys, and Olave and Shaheed. We know what the questions are. But there's just none bigger than offensive line, where you're replacing 3 starters and you're asking 2 first-round picks in Penning and Fuanga to step in and be your bookend tackles, and to not just be competent, but to be good starting tackles in the NFL. That journey starts today. Okay, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Always love telling you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Get on by, y'all. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. Michelli. Michelli.com for Michelli Weighing and Measurement. More than a dozen different locations, more than 30 locations, across a dozen different states. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Always encourage you to check out their website. Check out their LinkedIn. Great information there. One of the things I talk to you often about is their mobile calibration lab. If you have equipment that can't leave your facility or you don't want to leave your facility, Michele has their mobile calibration lab, so they can come to you to calibrate your precision measurement equipment on site at your facility. You can learn more. You can always give them a buzz or check them out online at michele.com. Actually, if you're watching, there's a picture of their mobile calibration lab right there. They got a QR code on the back of it. You can scan that to get more information if you see it riding around. ISO 9001 registered and ISO 17025 accredited. It's Michele Weighing and Measurement, Michele.com. Michele.com. At Michele, we show the world what measurement can do. All right, it's after further review. We talked last hour about how LSU baseball, in the way too early top 25 at Baseball America, number 1 in the country for 2025. I know it's going to blow a lot of your minds. A lot of you like to keep doubting Jay Johnson for some reason. But the big part of that is who they have coming back. Bear Jones, Stephen Milam, Michael Braswell, Jake Brown. Of course, Ashton Larson, who started 33 games in right field for the Tigers a season ago. He's tearing it up in Cape Cod this summer. We'll talk to Ashton Larson when we come back next on AFR.
AFR.
If you haven't done so yet, check out Action Industries. You can always get by and see them. 2 locations, Belrose and right there in Geismar. But man, the website's great as well. ActionIndinc.com at Action Industries Incorporated. I tell you all the time about the great work that they do as far as their being industrial contractors, going to work in a lot of the plants, their exemplary safety record, the beautiful work they do. But remember, at Action Industries, they also offer fabrication shop services. So if you're a maintenance manager, turnaround coordinator there in a plant, and you need pipe, structural steel, pressure vessel fabrication. Not everybody does pressure vessels. And with Action, they're ASME certified. They have all 3 stamps, R, S, and U, at Action Industries. And of course, Action Industries, as we always talk about, is a proud partner of LSU Athletics. So a great safety record, exemplary, beautiful work, and they're local. It's Action Industries. Check them out online. It's Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Just about a month after the College World Series wrapped up, Baseball America put out their way too early college baseball top 25. For all of you Chicken Littles, it's been one hell of an offseason for the Baseball Tigers. Baseball America has LSU, the number one team in the country. That will speak to what LSU has coming back and what they are bringing in. And of course, part of what they have coming back is rising sophomore Ashton Larson, who's been tearing it up with the Chatham Anglers, in the Cape. Ashton's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Hey, man, you hear that? Baseball America's got you guys way too early preseason number one. What do you think about that?
It's exciting. I think we have a ton of talent coming in, and we have a ton of talent coming back. So I'm excited to get back down to Baton Rouge and get to work this fall.
Yeah, man.
Have a great year.
You've done work up there in the Cape. What's it transitioning from SEC to the Cape? I get to have these conversations every year with guys that go up and play summer ball. But what's that been like for you, just competition wise, from SEC now going to the best wood bat league in America?
It's pretty similar, I'd say, just because the arms from across the country are really, really good. And then there's not a lot of batter's eyes. There's some different backdrops and stuff at the Cape, so it's kind of a challenge to get used to that. And you play every day, and so just getting your body ready to go every single day is a great challenge. And I'd say those are kind of the main differences from summer to college ball in the spring.
Is this your first time ever playing in a wood bat league?
I played a couple of days in a collegiate summer league before I came to LSU. But this is my first actual full experience.
What do you think?
I loved it. It's been really, really fun. I mean, the Cape is pretty much everything everyone said it was going to be, and I've really enjoyed my time up here.
What about hitting with a wooden bat every day?
You do that a lot when you're like a prep player in high school ball. I've actually spent probably more time hitting with wood in my life than I have with metal, just from doing it all throughout high school ball, and I train with wood bats most of the time. So it wasn't that big of a transition, I'd say.
Why? I'm curious. Why do you spend more time if you're going to play with metal? Why do you spend more time training with wood?
There's just less forgiveness with wood. You have to kind of hit it more on the barrel, and you just have to stay through balls better. So it just kind of it makes your swing. I feel like for me, it makes you kind of have a more honest swing. It gives you more honest feedback too.
Ashton Larson is our guest up there with the Chatham Anglers in the Cape, batting .305. Man, look, against great arms, hitting with wood, you don't typically see guys have a really, really strong offensive year in the Cape or offensive summer, which is what you're doing. I would assume that maybe around the Arkansas game, or Arkansas series, kind of when you became a full-time starter, is that maybe when you really found your groove and became comfortable in your freshman year?
I'd say so. I feel like I've been competing and making adjustments throughout my entire time since I got on the campus, and just kind of those pinch hit at bats that I had leading up to that time really, really helped me just kind of get the feel for competing in those big spots and environments and getting used to the speed of that. But yeah, I mean, obviously playing really well, having my first homer there, it gave me a ton of confidence for the rest of the year and kind of took that momentum and ran with it.
I'm glad you brought up the homer. So Musso and I were talking about this before you came on. So you hit 3 last year, and I mean, obviously you were LSU's top hitter in conference play. Is part of your conversation with Jay and with the staff about building more power into your game as a sophomore in your sophomore year, or is that something you even focus on?
Yeah, I mean, I just have to continue developing overall as a hitter, I'd say, and getting better in all aspects, and developing just getting bigger, faster, stronger, kind of growing to my body more. I think the power is definitely going to come, but I'd say the focus more is just consistently hitting the ball, hitting line drives, barreling up the ball consistently, punching out less, walking more, doing all that.
Yeah. Ashton Larson's our guest. I asked, it's interesting, Ashton. I remember when Alex Bregman left LSU and was in minor league ball. He was down in Corpus in AA, and I had this. He used to come on with us weekly, and when he started his AA career, he just started mashing homers, and he just never was a home run guy at LSU. And one of the things he told me was, look, at LSU, they told me they want me to hit the ball on the ground and on the line. When I got into pro ball, they wanted me elevating the baseball. When you talk to Jay, like, does he want you to elevate the ball, or what is the approach whenever you're in the box?
I'm trying to drive the ball, hard and low. Not necessarily a ground ball at all, but just trying to hit hard line drives. I'm not really trying to hook the ball at all. I'm just trying to hit a ball with true backspin, kind of more up the middle is what I'd say, more on a consistent everyday basis.
Heck of a freshman season, man. I know as we look toward next year, there's a ton of optimism. Whenever you did have your exit interview with Jay before you went up to the Cape, can you share any of what you all discussed?
Yeah, just continuing to get physically stronger. It was a super positive year for me, and I was also, we talked about the team, just super happy with how strong the team finished. Obviously we struggled at the beginning of SEC play, and really happy with how that got turned around and finished really strong. But yeah, continuing to get stronger and just continuing to develop overall as a player was kind of the focus. Getting up to the Cape and competing, getting more at bats, and just developing more as a player, I think was mostly the main focus of that conversation.
Clearly, you were a huge part of LSU's run in the second half. By the way, outfield, you played 33 games in right, 4 in left. You DH'd 3 times. Do you have a preference on which corner spot in the outfield you occupy?
No, I feel like I can play either one really well. I think right field, I definitely do prefer, but I'll play wherever I need to be.
Where do they have you lined up mostly up there in the Cape?
I've played every game in right.
Okay.
I've played every game in right.
Got it. Man, a guy from Kansas. By the way, my sister lives in Overland Park, so I'm familiar with the area. A guy from Kansas comes to Louisiana. Now you're in the Cape. Give me a comparison of the food and the culture among the three: Kansas, Louisiana, and the Cape.
I'd say Kansas has really good barbecue. I'd say that's what we're most known for by far. Brisket, burnt ends, all that.
Oh yeah.
I'd say Louisiana has like really good, like kind of spicy food, just in terms of kind of good, more Cajun-y seafood. And then I'd say up here has got more of like really good lobster, salmon, that type of food. I'd say those are how I would. That's most of the food that I would eat the most from the three kind of regionally.
What do you guys get to do? Like if you do end up with a day off, I know you're playing every day, but like if you do get a day off, what do you do?
I've been the last off that I drove up to the Yankees game and watched that, which was a lot of fun. But for the most part, I've really put a focus on continuing to develop physically. So I've gotten in the gym every day, just kind of getting on a more consistent diet, trying to really put on weight in terms of like eating 7 eggs a day, going to the gym, lifting, on a consistent routine with that, and then eating salmon for lunch. Just trying to have more structure every single day, and that's really, really helped.
7 eggs and salmon for lunch. That sounds like some Rocky Balboa stuff. Just drinking the eggs straight out of the glass. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, just 7 scrambled eggs, some salmon, some quinoa. It's been really good. It's been really good.
That's how you get abbed out. And when you're a fat old guy like me at 42, that's why you don't have abs, because you like beer and carbs way too much. Hey, so wait, are you a Royals fan?
I'm actually a Tigers fan. I was born in Lansing, Michigan, originally.
Okay.
Sports.
There's been a little pipeline of LSU players through the Tigers organization over the last decade or so. Our guy Lang's up there right now, too, battling through an injury, but we're pulling for him. Hey, man, wish you the best the rest of this summer there in the Cape, and obviously a great sophomore season as well. A lot of people excited about the Tigers, man. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
That's our pleasure. That's Ashton Larson. Hey, we're brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore. Go to evermore.com, evermore.com. And I'm a morning workout guy. I wake up at 5:30, go to the gym. This has become part of my routine now. When I get out the door, I grab my I grab my 20-ounce bottle of Evermore that I have with me, so I'm hydrating while I'm at the gym. So if it's before or after a workout, it's just part of your day. I'm going to drink Evermore all day long. Highly recommend it as well, man. Like I've just cut tap water out of my life completely. I'll buy the 64-ounce bottles of Evermore. I'll pour that in the Keurig for my coffee. So I'm drinking natural artesian water and a Louisiana product. Like, don't buy water from Texas. Don't buy water from another country. We can tell you a good story about how it comes from this tropical land in a square bottle. I mean, this comes from the North Shore of Louisiana, a natural artesian well. Nothing fabricated, nothing added. This is just Mother Nature's masterpiece. They put it right into a bottle. It doesn't touch air until you uncap it and enjoy. It's Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Remember, the Olympics are getting started. When you watch Cloth and Nuss, the LSU Olympians, the sand volleyball players, they are Evermore endorsers. So it's good enough for Olympians. It's good enough for me and you. It's Evermore. Drink Evermore. Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Appreciate Ashton Larson for joining us for a couple of minutes there. A lot of guys on this LSU baseball team having really nice summers in their wooden bat leagues. We're going to try to catch up with a few of them. I know Muse reached out to DJ Primo as well. If you haven't been following him on social media here this summer, he's been pretty great as well. It's a local guy from Central who's trying to break through and find his role on this LSU baseball team. He's been watching for 2 years, but with a shortage of left-handed arms next year, whereas you had 9 lefties in 2024, you've cut that number to 4. Is it 4 or are they 5? Let's see. Anderson?
I think they're at 4. Jake Brown would make 5 if they let him pitch.
They're not going to let Jake Brown pitch. But so if it's Anderson and Primo are the only 2 returning, you've got the JUCO arm coming in. Who am I missing?
Excuse me, Cooper Williams, the
Williams.
They
That's
just
right.
flipped from A&M.
The A&M flip. Yep. So 4. So you got 4. You went from 9 to 4. So you're going to need all those guys to contribute, and Primo will be part of that. We'll see if we can catch up with him down the line. All right, it's after further review. In no other world does a pretty sunset determine a postseason in any sport other than college football. The Rose Bowl's had it again. We'll talk about it. Stay here, AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. It's Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Hey, go to the website at getgordon.com, getgordon.com. You can always call 888-8888, 888-8888. But if you go to the website at getgordon.com, one of the things I encourage you to do is scroll down, and you'll see all the different types of cases they handle, from car accidents, big truck wrecks, personal injury, offshore accidents, maritime injuries, workers' comp cases as well. You'll see it all there on the website. And also, on top of the types of cases that they represent, if you scroll down a little further, you'll see all of the client results. And they have testimonials from real clients in all of the different types of cases they handle, from car wrecks and big trucks and personal injury testimonials, Social Security testimonials, even Spanish language testimonials. You can check it all out at the website. It's a great resource. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the mic icon to send us your thoughts in audio form. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review. Speak up, tell us your location, and be heard. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com.
Oh, you want to do the Speak Up for Ask Us later? That'd be a good idea.
I like it, yes.
Or we could do Ask Us. Remember, Kibi's here as well. So Kibi is our intern, and she's also a collegiate athlete. She's a scholarship volleyball player at Southeastern. So a Lion up. Look at that. We got our little Lion team over here. Look at that. Yeah. The Lion King and the Lion Queen over there. Paul O'Neill and Kibi Huggins.
There you go.
Isn't Taylor a Southeastern?
Taylor's Southeastern.
Taylor Sharps. Look, we're outnumbered.
Well, I mean, not in the room.
Well, it's 50-50
Taylor
in
went
the
home
room
for the
right
day.
now.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Wow. Where did Beck go to school? Did he go to school?
Yeah, I think Beck went to LSU.
Whatever. This is a great case in point, by the way, kids. You can work in media without a degree. Now, if you want to be a journalist, like if you want to go be a beat writer or a reporter or something like that, you're probably going to need your journalism degree, which I have. But again, I'm the guy that hires for this station, and I don't look at anybody's resume. Don't send me a resume. Send me an air check. Send me a demo. Here's your advice. Start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, because I'm not even going to talk to you. I don't care about your resume. Like, I want to see your work. There's your tidbit, Kibi. Start a podcast or a YouTube channel or whatever you want to do. Start a TikTok. I don't care. I want to see it. I want to see content. Why did we start talking about that?
I don't know. Oh, Ask Us.
That's right. That's right. So for the end of the show today, remember, Otter is gallivanting off in Del Mar. So we don't have Otter Lock. So we're reverting to Ask Us, which is the segment we did to end the show for many years. So you can text and email your questions or you could use the Speak Up function on the app. Download our app. There's a little microphone on the bottom, like just the center. Just tap that microphone. You record a message. It gets emailed to me and to Muse, and we'll play your question or your comment on air. If it's good. If it stinks, then we'll probably just discard it. Or we'll play it and laugh at you.
That's also a possibility, yeah. Actually, I think we're going to do that.
We're talking about me, actually. So, yes, we'll probably just point and laugh. Yeah. I'm wont to do that at times. Man, I hate the Rose Bowl so much. I do. I get it. We all love college football. It's the granddaddy of them all and all that stuff. You know, what are they, the San Magenta?
The San Gabriel Mountains.
San Andreas.
No, the San Gabriel Mountains.
The San Diego Mountains.
Could be the San Diego, but it's not. It's the San Gabriel Mountains.
Spanish for a whale's vagina.
That's
doesn't mean Saint.
Doesn't
mean Saint. No. Anyway, I love Anchorman. It's just my favorite movie ever. we all understand the Rose Bowl, right? It's a beautiful setting and all that stuff. New Year's Day, the 2 p.m. Pacific kickoff, sunset over those mountains and all that junk. But in no way should any postseason tournament be held hostage by a sunset. Let's just say that out loud and realize how dumb that is. Well, the Rose Bowl is doing it again. They don't want to move off of January 1st. They want their January 1st game. So they want to be perpetually a college football playoff quarterfinal team, a quarterfinal venue. So keep in mind, it's rotating among those 6 games. That'll be the quarters and the semis. So 4 will be quarterfinal games, 2 will be semifinal games, and then you'll have, so the first round will be on site, 4 quarterfinal games, 2 semifinal games, and then in the bowls, and then you'll have the championship game, which is an independent game now. And so the Rose Bowl doesn't want to be part of that rotation because they don't want to be off of New Year's Day, so they just want to stay in the quarterfinals. Everybody else can rotate, but we're going to stay right here. And, my question is, at what point is it not worth it? I mean, really think about this. At what point is it just not worth it? Remember, the Rose Bowl forever has had their traditional Big Ten, Pac-12 matchup. Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12. Well, they don't have that anymore. The Pac doesn't exist. So they already are missing that giant piece of their history. So they don't have a bowl tie-in. So technically, they ain't got a game. College football doesn't need the Rose Bowl. If the Rose Bowl went away, you just didn't have it anymore. We'd still be good, right? We'd watch LSU and USC out in Vegas. We'd be excited to watch Notre Dame and Texas A&M, Michigan, Ohio State, on-campus playoff games. We'd be pretty pumped for all that, right? Wouldn't we? If the Rose Bowl just didn't exist anymore. I get it. I'm sensitive to it. I understand it. I love the tradition of college football. I do. It's a part of the game. It's a great part of college football. Is all the history, the tradition, the pageantry. Yes. You know what's better than all of that? A really good product. Because we see games every year that don't have a lot of history and tradition and pageantry among them, but they become great games because the product on the field is great. And I'm more interested in that than I am that sunset. Because if that sunset goes away, college football is still going to be great. Because it's about what happens on the field. If you take that Oklahoma-Georgia Rose Bowl from a few years ago that was a playoff game, a semifinal game, and you move it out of the Rose Bowl and you play that exact same game at literally any other venue, it's still an awesome game, right? I don't need the sunset over the San Magenta Mountains, the San Andreas Fault, the San Diego, Carmen San Diego Mountains.
Oh no, please no more Carmen San Diego. The San Gabriel Mountains.
You understand my point.
Yes.
It's like with all the conference realignment. Well, we're not going to get to see Nebraska and Oklahoma anymore in football. You know what? We've done okay. No more Texas and Texas A&M. For the last 12 years, I think college football has only gotten bigger and better. The Rose Bowl has no leverage anymore. They don't have half of their traditional game. The conference is gone now. It doesn't exist anymore. The Rose Bowl needs college football. College football doesn't need the Rose Bowl. So you've gotten to this point where college football collectively needs to say to the Rose Bowl, hey, this is our system. If you want to be a part of it, come on. We're going to rotate just like here's the deal. And if you don't, fine. Just go have Oregon State or Washington State make up half your game every year and try to convince someone else to come play if they're not in our playoff. and maybe they can enjoy the pretty sunset. I mean, I saw that pretty sunset there when LSU played UCLA. I saw the sunset. Game sucked. I don't think we're going to talk about it very much. I watched LSU inside blow out Clemson and win a national championship. That was majestic. Has nothing to do with the stupid sunset. Rose Bowl. I mean, you're a hassle. You know that comedian Demetri Martin who does like he has like the big pad, like what are those things called? Like the big tablet with the big pad where you have the big sheet of paper that you roll over the top. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I do not know.
You know what I'm talking about? Those big
yeah.
Like he has one. It's like this ratio that he does of like it's like hot to crazy for a chick. It's like if you're hot, you can be crazy, but there's this point where it doesn't matter. He goes like, I don't care how hot you are. I don't give a damn about your cat. You know, I don't give a damn how interesting your cat is. Like, that's where we are with the Rose Bowl. You got a lot of great history. You got a great stadium, great tradition, the pretty sunset and all that stuff. But at some point, you're just not worth it anymore. And like, that's where I am with the Rose Bowl. Either jump on board and play ball the way that the Sugar Bowl and the Cotton Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl and the Peach Bowl and the Orange Bowl, all these games that have great tradition too, the way that they do, and they've been malleable. They've been willing to adjust. Either do what everybody else is doing or go do your own thing. Because college football doesn't need the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl needs college football. Those San Jacinto Mountains are pretty good, though, aren't they?
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah. Not as beautiful as a diamond from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. How you like that, Muse? Huh?
I like it.
How about that transition? Hashtag radio professional. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're the best. If you want a beautiful diamond, gentlemen, if you want to thrill her, if you're going to pop the question, why would you go anywhere other than the place that Louisianians have gone for more than 30 years to get engaged? Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box. Or maybe you got a special anniversary coming up and you bought that diamond ring maybe when you were younger, and now as you've grown up and gotten on in your career, maybe you make a little more money. It's a great opportunity to maybe trade in that diamond for an upgrade. She'll be thrilled, and Lee Michaels can make it happen. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. 15 minutes from right now, we're heading out to we're heading out to Irvine, California. We'll check in with Ross Jackson, our Saints training camp report. Ross is good enough to be with us every day during Saints camp from today all the way through August 16th. For as long as the Saints are out in Irvine, he'll be with us every day for a camp report. We'll do that again in 15 minutes from right now. When we come back, Muso will have Tigers and the Pros. Don't you move.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Get on by Rouse's.com or download the Rouse's app. Remember, I tell you all the time, check out the Rouse's app. The curbside pickup options are awesome. Pick out your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. They'll bring them out to your car. You don't even have to ever get out of your car. It's going to save you time. Of course, it's going to save you money as well. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. I love this too, man. Rouse's was just recognized by Top Workplaces as one of the top workplaces in the region for 2024. It's just a great culture that they built over there, family owned and operated. Rouse's has been in business for more than a century now, and they just continue to do absolutely awesome work. Love to be partnered with Rouse's and thrilled for a really good football season up ahead. All football season, all summer long, all week long, all year long. Make sure you get by Rouse's. This feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Wrapping up hour number 2, trivia night over at Plucker's, 7:30 Blue Bond at 8 o'clock. Nicholson, get on by, eat wings, drink beer, spin the prize wheel, win Plucker's gift cards. What more in the world could you possibly want on a Wednesday night in July? Nothing. It's Plucker's. Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Well, yesterday was Paul Skeens' shove day, and shove he did. His lineup just hung him out to friggin' dry, and they should all be in jail. Paul Skeens' career best outing last night resulted in his first loss of the season. Pitched into the 8th inning for the first time in his career. Pitched into the 9th inning for the first time in his career. Overall, 8 1/3, 2 runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. But again, his lineup scored 1 run, and the Pirates lost 2-1.
But that's baseball, Matt.
He's only a man, for God's sakes.
Sometimes you go 8 1/3 and allow 2 runs, you lose. Sometimes you go 5 1/3, allow 10 runs, you win. That's baseball.
Do better, Pirates.
He got the Aaron Nola treatment last night.
That is so brutal, man. God, he's like his 89th pitch or whatever was 101. Anyway, Josh Smith last night for the Rangers, big day. 2 for 4, a massive double, his 20th of the year to extend the lead in the 8th inning. Off the bat, looked like it had a chance. Off the bat, looked like it had a chance. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah, it died.
That died.
Boy, it did look good off the bat.
I know, man. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is going to be a wall banger. Nope. Actually just dropped in, right field.
I like those unis, too.
They're good.
The script Rangers
They're
across
really
the
good.
front.
They're really good.
The block tee. The piping down the leg.
That's great. I mean,
good look.
Good color scheme, red, white, and blue. Who'd have
That's the
thought?
old Juan Gonzalez uniform
Yes, indeed.
from the 90s.
Yes, indeed. How do you feel about their powder blues?
Hate them.
2 for 4 for Smith with that double and an RBI. Jake Fraley earlier today A little doubleheader action between the Reds and the Braves. He did not go to Catholic High. He's from Delaware. 3 for 5, including a homer off the foul pole for Jake Fraley in right field. Part of a 3-hit day. Would drive in 2 and score 1 of his own.
Boink. Do you think he did that on purpose?
Yeah, he's got great aim. Quick update on some of the former Tigers who are now in the pros officially signing their contracts. Tommy White gets $3 million. That's over slot for the 40th overall pick. Gage Jump gets $2 million. That's over slot for the 73rd pick. About $1 million over slot actually there for Jump.
That's huge.
That was massive, man. Luke Holman slightly under slot at pick 71, $997K there. And then how about Thatcher Hurd? Right about even with slot value, $837.4 for Thatcher Hurd in the 3rd round by the Yankees. That's Tigers in the pros.
Oh, we're presented by Supper Club. And how about what's going on today? It's Wednesday, and it's Cow Day over at Supper Club. It's Butcher Day. So we told you, Sagrera Farms up in Ethel, they do an exemplary job. As a matter of fact, one time Brandon was meeting with the head of Sagrera at Supper Club, and he had to excuse himself because he had to go back to Ethel to sprinkle the cows. Like, he gives them the best life possible. Of course, it leads to a better quality beef product. Well, they get the entire animal, and then Chef Layton butchers it in-house there at Supper Club, and they got a new animal today. So if you're knocking off of work and you've been thinking, man, I hear Scone talk about Sagrera, I want to go try that steak over at Supper Club, they literally got one today. Scone, I don't have a reservation. Hey, it's worth calling. Sometimes they have cancellation. Sometimes earlier seating you can get in, and you always have open seating at the bar. So pop on in after work, belly up to the bar, have a glass of wine, a cocktail, and have the best steak of your life over at Supper Club. Y'all remember also, it's not too early to start thinking about your holiday, your Christmas parties. If you want to book the entire venue or part of the venue or the private room for your Christmas, your holiday party, call Supper Club and do that now. Don't wait before it's too late. It's at Supper Club. Reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. All right, y'all, hour 3, Ross Jackson from Irvine, California, next.
AFR.
If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Man, I love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center every day because they changed my life. And that's not hyperbole. If you are someone who wears contacts or glasses, and I told you, what if you never had to pop those contact lenses into your eye again? What if you never had to deal with contact solution? What if you never had to reach for your glasses again? What if you woke up in the morning and you could just see? What if you went to bed at night and you just closed your eyes, you could see? What if when you got in the swimming pool, you didn't have to worry about water splashing your face and knocking your contact out? What if when you traveled, you didn't have to pack all the extra stuff in case you ripped a lens or lost a lens or something like that? It's possible. It's possible. The Williamson Eye Center makes that happen every single day. Let this be the push. LASIK, EVO ICL, PRK, custom lens replacement. They do it all at the Williamson Eye Center. So call today, 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. No practice today for 49ers star left tackle Trent Williams or receiver Brandon Ayuk. Williams, regarded as the most dominant lineman in the NFL, is holding out over contract-related issues. Ayuk wants a new deal, asked for a trade last week. He's at camp holding in. ESPN NFL analyst Louis Riddick.
I'm telling him one of two things. Either play on this contract, see what happens in the offseason, see if you can strike a bigger deal then because you have a great year, or take what they're giving you now. For Brandon, you're going to have to decide just how much you want to go to the mat for this. It's tricky when you're talking about high-end athletes like this.
Louis Riddick on Freddie and Harry. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson out the first 3 days of camp due to sickness. Back today, but only out there for an hour. A source told ESPN's Jameson Hensley that Jackson wasn't feeling well. The NBA signed its 11-year media rights deal with Disney, NBC, and Amazon Prime after saying it would not accept Warner Brothers Discovery's $1.8 billion per year offer. The U.S. men's soccer team lost its Paris Olympics opener 3-0 to France.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Used to. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. That was weird. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. It's going to make a lot of the kids sad because a lot of kids like we do hump day, but we got Ross Jackson on the phone, so I got to get to that. Maybe we'll do hump day a bit later. We did it in hour 1, so go check it on demand if you want to do that. We're thrilled, man. All throughout Saints training camp while they're in Irvine, our buddy Ross Jackson, Locked On Saints, is good enough to join us here for a Saints camp report. We'll do it daily all the way through August 16th. That is, unless Ross gets sick of us and says, hey, stop calling me, you jerk. Ross, how are you, man?
Stop calling me, you jerk. No, I'm just kidding. I'm great,
man. That was quick.
Jeez, man. We didn't even get started.
Hey, this is so wild, man. You told me when we spoke yesterday, I didn't realize this. You went to school? You went to grad school in Irvine? Like, you went to school on that campus?
Yeah, man. Literally right across the street. So the Brenny Event Center is on a street called Mesa Road. And right behind the Byrne Event Center is where the two football fields are. Across that road is the Claire Trevor School of the Arts, which is where I hold my Master of Fine Arts Theater. Is from that very school, from right across the street. So it was cool. It was a nice little homecoming.
There it is right there. The picture's on Twitter or X if you want to go check it out. I guess you have to take the photo of it, right? If you're going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody that I was coming into town, so that was kind of my way of letting everybody know, hey, I got them here.
Here. Hey, set the scene for us, man, for a very decidedly different scene for Saints training camp.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very different. Everybody's going to kind of talk about the weather and things like that, which I do think is worth mentioning. It does allow this team to maybe work a little bit harder, push a little bit more than maybe they can in 90% humidity, 99% humidity, all those things. But I think the other thing that's really kind of interesting about this environment is that it's one that kind of takes away a lot of distraction for this team. There's none of the home life stuff. There's none of all those things. Not that there's anything negative about that stuff, but their focus is on football all the time, and you can certainly kind of feel it. I would say that the vibe, if you will, was very different. It was a very focused vibe, and even in a practice where you can only do so much, the NFL's rules with the first practice and acclimation periods and things like that, you can kind of feel a little bit of the intensity, and that intensity comes from the environment, but I think that environment is also driven by the coaching staff. We saw and felt a lot of that intensity during OTAs and mini camps as well, so it's great to see that carry through all the way over here on the other side of the country.
What was the structure of practice like today, Ross?
So they started off with stretch, then they went into some individual drills. We got to see a little bit more in terms of maybe some new drills that were coming up. The running backs had a new drill to where they had sort of these red bars that you can run under. They had 3 of them lined up next to one another. The running back would start with the football, start running full speed towards those three gaps, and then 2 coaches would fill 2 of the gaps, and then the running back would have to kind of react and then burst through the other. So one of those kind of very Foster things that's being brought in. It's always interesting to see what new things a coach brings in. So they went to those position drills to where they were kind of focusing on their own positions, and they went into kind of routes on air and things like that, where they started to put things together. So they built it after walkthroughs with routes on air, and then they went 7-on-7, where you started to incorporate more of the offense, more of the defense, and then they eventually got up to team drills, interspersing some special teams in the midst of that. They only ran team drills twice for this one. Again, pretty light, not a lot of trying to push the ball downfield or anything like that, but that was kind of the structure in terms of how they did it. Then everybody came together, met at the middle of the field while maybe some field goal kicks were going on and things like that, and then broke for the day.
At Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter, X. Make sure you're subscribed to Locked On Saints. If you're not subscribed, you're talking about a daily Saints podcast, and the Saints are in camp. It's just make sure you're subscribed to that podcast right now. Since you were talking about the running back drill, let me ask you about Kamara. All indications are he seemed to do well on a day when Kendre Miller got hurt. So maybe a thought on Kamara's day and Miller's injury?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the big thing around Alvin Kamara obviously was we were all very interested about what his participation would look like. He's in the midst of this contract negotiation with the team, but he was out there, participated in everything, individual drills, walkthroughs, full team drills, did it all. Didn't take any snaps off. He inherently had snaps off, but
Sure.
he wasn't standing off to the side watching things happen. And also he was fully invested, which makes sense, right? You're trying to push for a commitment with a team for your future, and that team wants to see what your commitment looks like, so let me show you. And I think that's logical. He said that it was always his intent to be here day one during training camp and participating. And then when we were speaking with him, I asked specifically when it comes to his contract negotiation, how things, is it something that you're looking at for the now, or is it something you're looking at with the future? And he's very much concerned about his future. He wants to finish as a Saint. He said, I want to retire here. I want to finish as a New Orleans Saint. So again, making that statement and again, driving the point forward that his goal is to remain a New Orleans Saint. And that's all that it is, that he's sort of looking for it. Now, does the value make sense to help to make that happen? That's the question that the team has to answer. And then I think you got another idea of the value when you have a guy that was drafted in the 3rd round just a couple of years ago, and Kendre Miller leaving with an injury. And unfortunately, this has just become all too common for Kendre Miller, to the point where when I asked Dennis Allen about the injuries today, one of the things that he said was to the effect of, Kendre Miller is a guy that's effectively got to figure out a way to stay healthy, because it's hard to make a football team when you're hurt. And that was a very upfront remark by a head coach coming out and saying it, effectively publicly challenging this player to find a way to stay out on the field. So we don't know the severity of the injury yet. We do know it is a hamstring injury, but so we'll be digging for more information there. But definitely something to watch because, man, if you want to prove that you're of value to this team, this was a real opportunity for you to do that. Now Alvin Kamara shows up, he's fully participating, and then you leave the field hurt again. That can be a little bit tough on your outlook.
Hey, I heard the Dennis Allen's comment, Ross, when he said it's hard to make the team when you're injured. Is there really a chance that Kendre Miller doesn't make this roster?
I think, look, what we've seen over and over again is that Dennis Allen loves to drive competition. And so when you love to drive competition, you have to have guys that you feel like can actually push. And one guy that I would keep an eye out on, especially after that comment, is Jordan Mims. Jordan Mims is a young, talented running back from Fresno State. He's got a little bit of that Fresno State connective tissue to a lot of this coaching staff, Derek Carr, Jake Haener, all this other stuff. But he's a guy that they really liked. Remember, they didn't bring him in as an undrafted free agent. He's somebody that signed as an undrafted free agent with the Buffalo Bills and then hit the market, and the Saints went out and got him. And then he stuck on the roster the entire time. And he loves this system, this Clint Kubiak system. Everything down from the run game to lining up out wide, being motioned out wide, and being a part of the receiving progression. He loves every bit of it. And he's been healthy. We haven't seen any issues at all with him. And in some cases, you're just going to get better the more that you practice. And sometimes that ends up being the division, right? Like, I practice more, therefore I'm better, therefore I'm making the team, and you're not.
Ross, we're going to have plenty of time to talk about the offensive line once they get into pads. I know you don't really see much before they get into pads, but I do want to ask you on the flip side about a defensive lineman. Chase Young, neck surgery was out there. What, if anything, can you tell us about Chase Young's first day in the black and gold?
Yeah, he's hard to miss. I'll say that much. He is big. He is somebody that is, it looks like an imposing force. We really only got the opportunity to see him during walkthroughs and then a little bit of individual drills, mostly kind of standing off to the side. Did a little bit of kind of special teams. It was around kind of the special teams area as well. But that's all that we really got to see of him. So I don't have any big insight on him yet outside of what he looks like physique-wise. He looks like a guy that's really ready to get started. So it was great to see him already out there, at least doing those walkthroughs and things like that, and we'll see what his ramp-up looks like in terms of how he gets more involved over time. Kool-Aid McKinstry back in mandatory minicamps, over the course of those 3 days, he went from walkthroughs to individual drills, from individual drills to more individual drills, over the span of 3 days. And then today he was out there kind of participating. And so I'm wondering if maybe we see a similar trajectory for Chase Young, to where even just within the first week, do we get to see him advance a little bit?
Man, we're going to have a lot of time to cover a lot of ground here over Saints training camp. But the last one, if you had to put a finger on like day one standouts, anybody catch your eye or collectively catch the eye out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Linebackers, Demario Davis and Willie Gay. They were, I've been saying for a little bit, and I think many people have, that if this New Orleans Saints defense wants to get even better, right, this is a pretty consistent defense, I think is fair to say, since 2017, consistently top 10, even though it used to be more in the top 5 conversation. But pretty good defense. And one of the things that I've been saying is that this team would be so much better if they were playmakers at the second level. And Demario Davis has been consistently one of the best linebackers in the league, obviously one of the biggest leaders in this defense. The addition of Willie Gay just takes the playmaking up an entire level. And so that was something that really stood out to me. I'm looking forward to seeing if it was a day one thing versus a consistent thing, right? That's something that they've got to be able to show. But those are the guys that stood out to me in terms of the guys that I feel like had the best days out there, Saints training camp day one.
Make sure you're following him at Ross Jackson Nola, at Ross Jackson Nola. Subscribe to Locked On Saints. Ross will be there out in Irvine for the duration of camp, and he's good enough to join us to give us our daily Saints camp reports. Man, we appreciate it, Ross. We'll talk again tomorrow, man.
Absolutely, buddy. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
We'll look forward to it. Great stuff there. How about Willie Gay? By the way, Dennis Allen, after practice, did talk about Willie Gay. I'll let you hear that here in just a quick second. Let me remind you about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. First web inquiry, First South Farm Credit. Go to FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Since 1916, they've gone through economic depressions. They've gone through world wars. They've gone through the turn of the century. It's First South Farm Credit. You need to buy land? You need First South Farm Credit. Also, They offer the patronage refund. How many times do lenders write a check to their borrowers? At First South Farm Credit happens every year. This year, they distributed more than $25 million to their borrowers. As a cooperative, they share in their profits with their borrowers, so it effectively lowers your cost of borrowing. So if it's agriculture, you need 1,000 acres. If it's that hunting property, that recreational property, or the 20 acres, the 100 acres to build your family's dream home, First South Farm Credit can help. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. You heard Ross there mention Willie Gay as a standout along with DeMario Davis. Here was Dennis Allen on Willie Gay's first day as a Saint.
I'd say number one, I'd say what we've done around here defensively and the scheme that we've utilized has been pretty effective in our league. But within that, we're always trying to adapt the scheme to what our players can do well. And so I think that's a twofold deal. I think Willie's got to make sure that he's understanding what we're asking him to do and how we're asking him to do it and be able to execute that at a high level. And then our job is to figure out the things that he does really well and try to put him in those positions as much as we can.
If you're running a 4-2-5, only two guys are going to be on the field at the same time. You know, DeMario Davis is one of them. So really, this is Willie Gay, Pete Werner. That battle right there for that job. And listen, I mean, you can think back to when you had Alex Anzalone here as well. I mean, it was when you had that three-man rotation, you stayed fresh, you were deep and talented. Would love to see that persist here through camp. Long way to go, though. Day one in the books of New Orleans Saints training camp. And again, we're thrilled to have Ross Jackson with us every single day here throughout Saints training camp from Irvine. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We do have Pluckers Trivia coming up in 15 minutes. We'll get to what we learned and Ask Us. You want to get questions in for me, Muse, Paulie, for Kibi, our intern, you can do that. Ask Us to wrap up the show here in about 30 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Thinking of buying or selling a home, you need Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. If you need to sell a home, look, everybody knows someone that's a realtor. You know, your aunt's a realtor, your cousin's a realtor, your neighbor's a realtor. A lot of people have their realtor's license. But Darren James literally sold more homes than all but 13 realtors in America last year. Wall Street Journal's Real Trends lists the top 1% of realtors in America. When you go look at the transaction number, Darren was number 14 in America. Why would you hire anyone other than the realtor that literally sells more homes than any realtor in the state of Louisiana? And all but 13 other realtors in America. It's Darren James. Hey, and download the Darren James app as well. Darren's always on the cutting edge of technology. It's one of the reasons he gets homes sold faster for more money. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Been counting down to LSU and USC. A week from today, Brian Kelly will speak to the Rotary Club of Baton Rouge. It'll be his final media appearance before starting camp a day later, Thursday, August the 1st. LSU hasn't formally given us the camp schedule, but that I'm fairly confident that's barring some change. It's typically how it plays out. BK will speak at Rotary on Wednesday, and then Thursday they'll report for camp. So whenever we get the practice schedule, we'll know much more about the media availability and all that stuff. We'll start our camp reports, but it's there. It's here for the Saints. Saints are on the practice field today, and next week we're expecting same for LSU. And I always say, man, by the time it's I'll say it this way. So, a lot of you know that I've started doing the Locked On LSU podcast again. And so Ross, of course, who we just had on, is Locked On Saints, and the Locked On Network is great. And I started Locked On LSU back in 2018, did it for 4 years. Had to give it up for 2 years. Caroline Fenton did a great job. She left for her job with Yahoo, so I started doing Locked On LSU again. So, if you wouldn't mind, go and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. But So Zach Blackerby, who does Locked on Auburn, is the channel manager for the college channel, all the 60 or so college Locked on podcasts that there are. And early on, it was in June, and I was doing a lot of LSU baseball content around the draft and transfer portal and all that stuff. And he sent me a text one day. He said, I was going to text you and tell you to stop doing baseball content. He said, I was wrong. I was like, yeah. Hey, man. But it's true. Like, I say this all the time when people ask. Like, this market is unique. And, I don't like when people misuse the word unique. Like, unique means only one. It's not rare. Unique means only one. And there really is no other place like this. There's a lot of places that love college baseball. There's a lot of places that love their major college team. There's a lot of places that love a professional sports team. And there are rare markets where you have crossover with the college and the pro team. Like, Athens is kind of like that because you have Atlanta nearby, but it's not exactly the same. And there certainly isn't the fever pitch or the fervor for the Atlanta sports team as in Athens, the way there is the Saints and the Pels. Here, mostly because of the population crossover in Baton Rouge specific after Katrina. Like, there was always, like, my family is all from New Orleans. We're all born and raised there, came over on the boat, settled in New Orleans, and had been there until my family moved us to Baton Rouge in 89 when I was 7 years old. But the point being, post-Katrina, there was such a population shift from New Orleans to Baton Rouge that the populations just blended unmistakably. And so you can talk all the LSU sports, you could talk Saints, Pelicans, you could talk SEC and all that, but college baseball really is the differentiator because while a lot of places like college baseball, this is the only place where you can talk about a midweek game and get numbers. You know what I mean? It just doesn't exist anymore. Like, why didn't they bring in the transfer and middle relief? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And so people are always amazed by that. So when we put the schedule together, I always say this, like, if LSU baseball can get me to the end of June, like, there is no such thing as dog days of summer. Because if LSU baseball conversation goes through the end of June, which it does, obviously, with the postseason and the draft and all that stuff, then, like, you have a week where I go on vacation. Then we're at SEC Media Days. The week after Media Days now, the Saints report. The week after that, LSU football reports, and you're in camp. So there is no such thing as the dog days. There is no such thing as a downtime. So I'm fired up for it. So LSU will report next week. They'll hit the practice field, and then it's just steamrolling toward the game against USC. By the way, I talked to Jason Ramazan yesterday. They were down to 6 spots on that flight. If you haven't heard, we've talked about it. Hester, T-Bob, and I will all be going with Mr. Fun's Travel out to Vegas. It's charter air, Baton Rouge to Las Vegas. We'll be on the flight, so we'll look forward to see a lot of you there who are making that trip. I told you it was going to sell out. He's also got hotels at the hotel rooms at the Aria, which is gorgeous. It's my favorite hotel in Vegas. Bus transportation from the airport to the Aria to the game ticket included, all that stuff. And I think he's got 4 spots left on the plane. So if you're interested, would highly recommend it, like birthday present, Christmas present, something like that. If you want to do that early, or you just want to go with the family, or you and your significant other, you and a buddy. Again, there's 4 spots left on the flight. So if you're thinking about it, like, don't put it off. Like, there's 4 left, and they're not renting another plane. So it's like there's 4 spots left. That's it. So if you want to go, I'd highly recommend it. I put this on Facebook. You remember back in 2003? Y'all probably don't remember. So
bumper stickers, is that where you're going?
Yeah. So there was the FUSC bumper stickers that were everywhere around town, right? So LSU wins the national title, SC claimed the AP title, and so there were FUSC bumper stickers everywhere, right? And some people still have them. Like, you'll still see them on the bumper of a truck, 21 years later. Well, so we have a merch store here at Guarantee. It's called 929 Misfits. You can go to 929misfits.com. It's on social media and all that stuff. 929 MISFITS, 929misfits.com. Well, one of the designs we put up in the store is, you can pull this up, Paulie. One of the designs that we put in the store is an FUSC shirt. And it's like, it's FUSC, and it says below it, party like it's 2003. Like a game 21 years in the making. I put on Facebook, and I tagged my wife. I was like, Erica, would you be embarrassed? Because Erica's coming with me on this game. I was like, would you be embarrassed if I wore this to the game? And her answer was, I don't get it. Like, what's confusing about FUSC? Anyway, like, can we do a poll? Like, should I wear that to the game?
I mean, absolutely. I don't think you should wear anything else.
I mean, it would be
I obviously wear other clothes, but just you got to wear that shirt.
It'd be a really good fit for whiskey and wine. I feel like it would play on whiskey and wine very well. Paulie, what do you think?
I say go for it. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a degree of professionalism that I should maintain, and that sort of crosses that line.
Okay. Are you going to be in the press box?
No.
Then wear it.
Of course. There's no way I'd wear the press box.
But that's what I'm saying. But I bring that up because you said professionalism. Well, if you're going to be in the stands, you're going to have some beers, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, then wear the shirt. Like, it doesn't. If you're in the stands, I think professionalism can be put aside.
The
if
tricky
you're not
part
in the box.
The tricky part is that people know who I am.
I get it.
I don't mean that like the people know me. Like, but it's true. Like, especially at an LSU event. Like, if I get on a plane and go to Buffalo to watch the Bills against the Lions, I'm obscure. Fine. I go to an LSU event, and yes, people will recognize me. So, like, is it okay walking around with an FUSC shirt on?
I think it's 100% okay, yes.
Wait, Kibi, do you disagree? All right, so Kibi's our intern. She's a college student. All right, so.
I would say you could probably do what George Kittle did when he played the Cowboys, put it under a shirt, and if they win, take it off.
Okay. What shirt did Kittle have on underneath?
He had F the Cowboys.
Oh, I remember that. Okay.
That's interesting because if LSU loses, which they've done quite often in the opener, you would be stuck wearing that, and you'd be subject to ridicule. That's a great point.
Can we make this a Twitter poll?
Yeah.
And can you put the link, like a photo or the link for the shirt or something like that in there as well?
I'll put the link because a photo you have to like add it under. You can't do a
what can you do? But like, can you do the link and then can you put a link in a poll?
I don't know. I'm about to find out.
And if not, then just like put see below and then put it in the thing below and see what people think. You have to tag me in it too. Like, should Matt wear this shirt to the game, or is it lacking professionalism? I kind of want it either. I might just buy it anyway just to have the shirt.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, like, back in 2003, I was very, very anti the FUSC bumper sticker. And my point,
really?
Here was my point, okay? Here's my point. If the roles were reversed, LSU won the SEC, they're 12-1, and USC doesn't lose that game to Cal, and Oklahoma doesn't, well, Oklahoma lost, didn't matter, they still were number one, and Oklahoma and SC played in the Sugar Bowl for the national championship, and let's say LSU went to the Rose Bowl and won the Rose Bowl and claimed and won the AP title. Like, wouldn't we all be sitting here saying, yeah, we won the national title and got hosed? I mean, the AP is still a legitimate outlet, and they awarded a national title, which has been recognized for years. It's not their fault the system was screwed up. So that was the point I made. It was like, I tried to put myself, walk a mile in another man's shoes. If I was an SC fan, like, would I claim that title? I'm like, yeah, of course I would.
You would, 100%. I mean, you should. Like, anytime you get a title, anytime someone gives you a title, you should claim it.
Well,
like,
no, it's
not
not like
you should.
It's not like the UCF thing.
Claim it.
Where the Opelika Auburn News determined they were the national title. So or that was Auburn 04. The Opelika Auburn News awarded them a national title. Like, it has to be a recognized media outlet whereby for years, like, yes, we acknowledge this. This is the problem with mythical national championships too. And that was why after that the AP said, don't include us in your poll anymore. We're doing our do not include us in your BCS formula anymore. Anyway, that was my point. That's how I felt at the time. I was like, shoe on the other foot. If it's LSU, we'd be claiming the AP title. So I was like, I don't mind them doing it. We all know, like, LSU's got the crystal ball. You know the rules when you go in. You know the system. The BCS is the understood, accepted national champion. Like, LSU's got that trophy. Everyone knows LSU's the champion. But if you're USC and you want to recognize your AP title, I don't blame you for recognizing an AP title. That was my point.
I get your point.
But I do like the throwback component of
the bumper stickers were fantastic, and it created one of the best rivalries that never was. I mean, because you thought you were going to get it in 07 for a little bit there too, and then Stanford beat them, and they kind of fell off the mountain a little bit there. You had a couple chances there to really have it come to a crescendo. Now you get it all these years later. I like that aspect of it too.
I don't think anybody – I've done a few interviews with SC people in the build-up to this game, on different SC media show, radio, whatever, podcasts, radio shows, whatever. And I've asked that, like, do SC people still think about 03? And it's like, the answer's kind of no. Like, they don't. Which is really interesting because SC for a minute tried to claim like that they were going for a three-peat.
Yeah.
And because they won the AP in 03, they blew out Oklahoma in 04 and then lost to Texas in 05. Well, the 03 title was kind of illegitimate. The 04 they vacated and then they lost 05, so they really had no titles. It was kind of the way we looked at it here. Anyway, so is the poll question up?
I was doing it and then I started talking to you. How did we want to word it? I forgot what you said.
Should Matt wear the FUSC shirt to the game in Las Vegas? And tag me and put like the link and the whole thing there. You can buy, if you want to buy the shirt, it's there, 929misfits.com. It's right there on the homepage. I really like the party like it's 2003 because I've told you before I love the 03 team. Like, that's my favorite. I know 2019 is the greatest. It is. I'm not disputing that in any way. But 03 is my favorite and always will be. I was a senior at LSU. It was the first in 45 years. Many of us thought it would never happen. So you can have your favorites, and that one's my favorite. So.
I like the rhyme of it, too. FUSC, party like it's 2003.
Oh,
you like
didn't
that?
even, man.
Poet and you don't know it type deal over there.
That. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're with us here. Brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. As a matter of fact, my partner Richard Tilley, he and his wife Leslie, they'll be on that trip with us as well out to Las Vegas, going with Mr. Fun. Parish Construction and Roofing tell you every day, do business with someone you know. It rains and our phones ring. It's really that easy because I tell you every day when there's really two ways to find out if you have roof damage. One, let us come do a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Or 2, you wait for it to rain, you get water in your home. And sometimes you may have roof damage, you don't even know it. It rains, and you could wait until that slow drip starts to form a water spot on your ceiling. Or maybe we see this all the time, that slow drip from a leak in your roof starts to build in the insulation in your attic. And then what happens is, obviously, it gets hot and humid, and then that's a breeding ground for mold, and now you have compounded problems. So when it rains like this, I would highly recommend, let us come do a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. You don't even have to be home. It's really just, hey, you could come by we'll tell you we'll come by at this time, get on the roof, we'll take pictures, we'll mark it, walk it, chalk it, mark it, everything. We give you the full inspection report, take drone photos as well, tell you exactly where you might have damage. And if we recommend filing an insurance claim to get your roof repaired or replaced, we can help you do that. Linda in our office is a licensed insurance adjuster. She's worked on the other side for years. Now she works for us. And so she can help work with the insurance company to get your claim approved and get you moving on with life. At Parrish Construction and Roofing, our goal is from the moment you call us, the only thing you have to do is pick out a shingle color. We'll handle everything else. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Be sure to ask about our maintenance program as well, just $25 a month. Ask about our maintenance program when you call. 364-1007, 364-1007, or ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Okay, it's after further review. Quick break. We'll come back. We got to do Pluckers Trivia with Muse. Oh, Muse. I think this is 90s Trivia Week. Let me make sure.
Right, they've got them all been 90s.
Well, no, I know. Well, it's been a build-up.
Right,
so the last couple of weeks have been 90s questions, kind of getting you ready for this week, which I think is the 90s week. Okay. We got it. I got a shot here.
Yeah,
I think you have a shot.
All right.
I would tell you if you know.
That's why I'm here.
I think 2 of the 3 you got a real shot.
All right, let's have a winning day.
And maybe all of them.
Ooh. Not the sweep.
Maybe.
Okay.
You got a shot here, Muse.
Let's see.
One of them is 100%. Like one of these is 100%. One of them I would say is 65%.
Still good.
The other, I don't know if you'll know it, but there's a really good chance by deductive reasoning.
Yeah.
You got a shot here, Muse.
Right.
You got a real shot. Don't screw it up. All right. Pluckers Trivia next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources. You need help hiring, you need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. You have those really tough jobs that you're really struggling to find, right? Those hard to fill roles. Glow Resources can help. If you're the owner, the vice president, the ops manager, if you're the hiring manager, Glow Resources can help. They recruit nationwide. For example, there's a Baton Rouge company that was looking for an engineer. Glow Resources found that employee in Florida to do work in California. There was a man working in Amarillo, Texas, who now is relocated as a plant manager in Mississippi and was able to buy his first home, put his kids in private school. It's Glow Resources. If you need to hire the right employee to save you time and money, Glow Resources helps you do that. Check them out online. Give them a call today. It's Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
Érase una vez un Infinity, diseñado para despertar tu imaginación y desafiarte a soñar, con 3 lujosas filas de asientos. El totalmente nuevo Infinity QX80 de 3 filas.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us,
and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, little breaking news here. I guess we have to count this as breaking news, but I don't like to count stuff like this as breaking news, but it's what it is. So we have spent a good amount of time this week talking about Jonah Williams, the 5-star number 1 safety in America, also a projected first-round draft pick for the 2025 draft. He's out of Ball High in Galveston at Texas. Tomorrow, I believe, he'll be at the Bayou Splash in Baton Rouge this weekend. Jonah Williams has set his commitment date, so it'll be August 24th. Mark it down. He's got a final 5 teams that include Texas A&M, Southern Cal, LSU, Oregon, and Texas. Now, remember, this is a 2-sport guy, so what really are your options, your best options as a 2-sport athlete? And I've mentioned this to you before. Jay Johnson was the baseball coach that first started recruiting Jonah Williams early in his high school career. So if you're looking to play both football and baseball, and he's said on the record that NIL and money isn't going to be the reason that makes his decision. Oregon, in theory, with unlimited NIL could offer more money, but if LSU could put together an offer that includes a really strong NIL offer, the way they did for DJ Pickett, also for William Schmidt, you could put that together for 2 sports and get a guy like that, a transcendent player in 2 sports. Yeah, that's if you're getting Jamal Adams and Connor Griffin in one on campus, which is a mouthful, but that's what you're talking about here. I had scouts tell me he's got the tools of Connor Griffin. Shea was here yesterday, and there's guys on the football side that this is Jamal Adams, this is Grant Delpit, this is 5-star, number 1 safety, like day 1 starter type guy. Yeah, you do what you got to do to get him on campus, and he'll make his announcement on August 24th. Muse also told me that our friend Billy Embody from On3 did put in a prediction for Jonah Williams to LSU. So a little more than a month away. Actually, 1 month from today. 1 month from today, we'll find out what the destination is for Jonah Williams. Okay, it's after further review. Let's do it, Muse. Let's do some Pluckers trivia. Hit it.
It's time for Pluckers Trivia. How many will Musso get wrong today?
All of them.
Pluckers Trivia. Every Wednesday night, 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson.
All right, Muse, here we go. Which one do you want first? You want the layup first?
Yeah, of course.
All right, here we go. Here's the layup. Name the 90s movie with the line, "You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow. The town is back that way."
You're just... We were just doing it earlier, Dumb and Dumber.
Yep, there it is. Okay, so that was the layup. I told
right
you.
at the end.
I told you, right?
Yeah.
That one of them was a layup. Okay.
So good.
Now, this is the one that I think you got like a 65% chance of getting. I think you're going to get it.
Okay.
Like, this is one that, for me, is a layup, but we have an age gap, so maybe not. But I think you know. So, are you familiar with The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yes.
Okay, here you go. On The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what was Philip Banks' alma mater?
Princeton.
Yeah! Didn't miss a beat. I'm proud of you, Muse.
Great
How
show.
do you not know who Pete Sampras is, you jerk?
Well, because of the time I could have spent watching tennis, I spent watching sitcoms.
Did you ever watch SportsCenter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pete Sampras was on SportsCenter every day of your
Changed the
youth.
channel when it came on to tennis. It's like, yes.
All right, Muse.
Lazy.
This is the one where I think maybe deductive reasoning you might be able to get it, right? You're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
You had I pretty adequately described it. Lay up, 65%, but if you knew it, you knew it, you knew it.
Sitcoms always have a good shot at too, because I love sitcoms.
Yeah, I remember the taxi one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. This one, especially given the fact that you didn't even know who Pete Sampras was.
Who?
No, it was who? It was dramatic.
Our guy Pete.
All right, here you go. What NHL team won the Stanley Cup in their first season, relocating to a new city and under a new team name?
That's all I get. I don't get a year?
Well, this is where the deductive reasoning would have to come in. There weren't that many teams that relocated to a new city under a new name.
Okay, let's see. Dallas used to be in Minnesota, but
Joe ends it too.
Yeah. Wait. But this is 90s, right? It's 90s, right?
Yes.
I'll go with the Dallas Stars.
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
But they haven't won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're the only team I can think of like relocate. Who was it?
It was the Colorado Avalanche.
Mm.
I'm trying to think too of the guy who was there because there was this great image. I need to find his name now. It's going to drive me crazy. I don't know hockey at all. But, again, for someone who watched SportsCenter all the time, it was the veteran. So when they won that Stanley Cup, there was this veteran player that was on that team who it was like his whole career and all that stuff. And it was always the famous thing of him, like, holding the cup, the big beard, the playoff beard, and all that stuff. Like, Messier, I think, was the year before, maybe 94, when that Messier won it with the Rangers in 94. This is going to drive me crazy. It wasn't Patrick Waugh. He was the goalie.
I mean, we could
Someone's going to text me and know exactly who I'm talking about. It was a good effort. I mean, at least you got that Minnesota were the North Stars and moved to become the Dallas Stars. Man, this is going to drive me crazy.
Where were the Avalanche before?
Quebec.
Okay.
Yeah. They were the Nordics.
Poor Canada. They just can't win a Stanley Cup. 93, I think, is the last time they won a Stanley Cup.
Somebody text me. You know who I'm talking about. Ray Bork! Thank you. Ray Bork. Holger Heap, Lane Boudreau, Ray Bork. That's who I was thinking of. Thank you. Ray Bork is who I was thinking of.
Ray Bork.
Shout out to the guys who sent me Ray Bork. Thank you. All right, it's after further review. I just went Tony from Dutchtown. I just clapped on here. You never worked with TFD, did you?
Never worked with him.
But you listened to the show when he was here?
I listened to the show when he was here, but I was training and stuff a little bit when Tony was still here.
Not a babe. Shout out Tony from Dutchtown. It's after further review. Okay, let's knock out the final break of the show. We'll come back. We'll do Ask Us anything about anything. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 hour air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. You see them all over town, and they're just better than anyone. You don't have to take my word for it. How about what Rebecca Netterville said in this 5-star Google review? Olin, her technician. Olin was kind, courteous, patient, and knowledgeable. Really was great. Michael was great, too. He took time to explain everything and our options for our new air conditioning units. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Listen, by the way, they'll never install a new AC without having a manager come by for a second inspection. So if an inspector comes out and recommends a new system install, they'll never just do it. They'll always bring a second technician, a manager out for a second opinion to make sure that's the right decision. They're just amazing to work with. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, down the stretch we come. Doggone it. Alistar Musa said Ray Bork was part of the 2001 team, not the 96 team. By the way, 96 would have been 95, right? 95 Stanley Cup? Or was 95? Was 95 the Rangers with Messier? And I say, whatever. Anyway, but Ray Bork is exactly who I was thinking of, though. I got the years mixed up, though. All right, get your questions in. Down the stretch we come. Final segment, all that stuff. Ott is in Del Mar, gallivanting about, betting on the ponies and whatnot. So next week when he's back, we'll get back to Otterlocks. In the meantime,
it's only 1 week?
Well, he was gone last week, too.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do... Man, you broke my rule.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So Otzoff, Gallivanting, and Delmar betting on the ponies. He'll be back next week. So in the meantime, we'll do Ask Us. Question for me, Muse, Paulie, Kibi, the intern, who is a collegiate athlete as well. How about we ask a collegiate athlete a question?
There we go.
Hey, are you a fan of Clothin Nuss, the sand volleyball players from LSU or the Olympians? Someone give her a microphone.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are they good?
Yeah.
Are you better than them?
No, indeed.
You get closer to the mic, please, or pull the mic closer. So how much better are they than you?
A lot better. Playing in the sand is totally different. It's a different monster.
You mean if we went out to Biloxi or we went to Destin, whatever, and someone had a net and we go play, you would just be like a baby giraffe running around out there?
Yeah.
No way. I don't believe that
it's
at
a different
all.
game. Like, you have to have everything: passing, hitting, blocking.
You'd go out there and still crush people.
I could probably do a little something, but I'm not as good as them.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm not saying you're an Olympian right now, but if I took you out to Destin and we just put a court up, you think you would just be terrible out there?
Oh, no.
Come on. No. That's what I said. Would you be like a baby giraffe? You ever seen a baby giraffe walk? They walk around, they wobble like they, and they drop 7 feet out of, when they're born.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, welcome to the world. Now get up and go. It's rough. Carla Sharp on the shirt said, wear it, win or lose. You would really mean it if we would happen to lose, which we're not. The FUSC shirt. Yeah. Kevin Gotro asks, will Russ be back on the show this year? Not only will Russ be on the show, Russ will be in Las Vegas and will be with us Friday in Las Vegas on AFR. How about that? Greg Lehman asked the college athlete, where does she want to move after college?
College athlete.
That's a good question. I do not know. Honestly, I want to stay home, but for what I want to do in work, I'll probably have to move.
What do you want to do in work?
I want to be a sportscaster.
Oh,
reporter, so
that's why you're interning here, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Okay. Let's see. There was another question here on Twitter asking about whiskey and wine. We are doing whiskey and wine. T-Bob and I will be doing whiskey and wine out in Vegas. Muse, what did you learn today?
Ross Jackson went to college in Irvine.
He did. How about that? Paulie, what did you learn today?
I learned that the Rose Bowl wants a quarterfinal game.
They do.
What did you learn?
Only a quarterfinal game.
What did you learn, Matt?
Ashton Larson eats 7 eggs and salmon every single day. See you tomorrow.
AFR.
Optimize, generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com. Did you get it? Better remember that website. Tell you every day, Optimize, Louisiana's #1 Generac dealer. For Generac automatic home standby generators, you want Optimize. They sell more generators than anyone because that's all they do. They sell, service, install Generac automatic home standby generators. A generator it's a commodity. There's a lot of different companies that sell the same product. So which company do you choose? That's the question. I love telling you about Optimize because I've been at their office. I've spoken with Matthew over there, the owner. You walk into their office and you see this trophy case of all the different Generac trophies that they've won, and it's customer service, it's sales awards. They're the best because they do one thing. They're not an electrical company that sells generators. They're not an alarm company that also has a generator division. They do one thing: sell, service, and install Generac automatic home standby generators. GeneratorPeople.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.